Really well. I was very happy.
This one is rolling.
Hey, people! Hey, do we have a name for this yet?
No.
No?
D&D.
D&D! That's copyright.
When I'm like, I just say like
That camera's
campaign.
cattywampus, by the way.
Campaign, what you call it, with weirdos and nerds.
It's tilted. You see that?
I'll go with that.
Yeah. Which one?
It's actually the table. Like
Is it the table?
The tables are slanted at an angle.
Oh.
So like
I
on
think the
here.
room is a little slanty. The
The whole
foundation.
house, everything's
Yeah.
just tilted.
Whatever.
I wouldn't
Either
put it
way,
past this building.
So I'm just.
It looks okay.
You have potentially have a spell DC
Come on.
and a spell attack. So like if it tells you to like make a spell attack, I don't know if any of yours will. What it is your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier. So right now our proficiency is 2. And then your wisdom modifier is 1. So it's a +3 if you do when you roll the d20 and if it says to make a spell attack.
Oh.
If it says
I
that
have to roll the dice now.
yeah. So if you have an ability that says they make a like saving throw, what it is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier. So that same 3, so it's going to be an 8 plus a 3. So.
What's a DC?
The number they have
it's
to
like
beat.
a save type, or like you have
So-
to match it or
So
be
when,
higher.
if it meets
But what
beats,
kind of a spell would fall under that?
ice knife. So Lance threw the ice knife and hit the guy with an attack roll, but then the thing he hit and everything adjacent to it had to make a dexterity saving throw against his DC, which I think was.
None of my spells are really attack. Well, maybe except for this one.
Hail of Thorns. I'm not
no, that's
sure.
a saving throw. I think Hail of Thorns.
Okay.
You have to hit initially,
I think so.
but then you can.
Casting, it's a bonus action.
Yeah, which is really nice. So you cast it and then you can shoot your arrow.
Yeah, you cast it on your arrow or a piece of ammunition, and then you shoot it at your target. Hits.
Or
Explodes.
on your spear.
Yeah.
So I don't know if any of your spells will need that, but in case they do, that's
Then
what
that's
it's talking about.
I should probably grab a thing of sorcerer spell cards.
Honestly, I feel.
Yeah, I didn't know what you had, so I didn't buy anything. They have some that are magic weapons too.
Don't.
So-
I just get all of mine off the
Yeah.
Tome of Items. I have the Tome of Items app, and then I tweaked a couple of them.
Yeah.
But you only get 20.
Just because I was like, no, this is
It
like.
is harder to tweak if you're using these cards.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, with Peter, mine, all of Remy's, instead of doing radiant damage, does fire damage because it goes with her
Oh.
being a blacksmith.
True.
So I just
Yep.
substitute, which has been really freaking annoying when we fight things and they're all like resistant.
Okay.
We fought hellhounds
Okay,
and
I need to roll a
Stupid.
bit. Hang on.
Resistant to fire damage.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
So I feel like these are basically the same thing. One's speak with animals, the other one's animal friendship.
So one
Basically.
allows you to like actually talk to them, communicate back and forth.
Right.
The other one basically,
Uh-huh.
if they don't, yeah, he does. Well, not yet. I don't think you have those yet. I think you get those at like 3rd level.
No, like they're on my thing at level 1.
Oh, he's got spells.
At
Not like-
level 1, I don't know if he gets them at. I don't know if he gets those 2 at
Oh.
level 1.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look at that right now.
Ooh.
You.
Where for?
You may have just cheated, Josh.
No,
Oh, 'cause he's in
I
nature
wrote it.
domain.
I did write it
No,
down.
nature domain. If that's what he's doing,
Yeah, I'm doing
it
it.
says.
Oh, at first level, you get animal friendship and speak with animals.
I-
3rd
yes.
level bark skin and
Yeah,
spite.
bark skin.
Spite growth, by the way, is a great spell.
Okay.
I love it.
You send
I love it a
your-
lot.
So when we level up,
So you guys should do spells, Jake?
you can either roll a
Well, I
d8
have
and
one.
risk it for the
I don't
biscuit
know
to see if
if-
you get better.
So did you take cure
or
wounds?
you take a 5 and then
Yeah, I
add
took
your
Cure Wounds.
Constitution modifier.
I'm just debating
So
whether I
you
should
can
go with an
my
attacking
Constitution.
spell
So
or
you
like
would
something.
go up
Because I have animal
because if
handling.
you did it that way, so 5
So I
plus
feel
2.
like I should have some
Or
kind
you
of
can
spell that allows me to do
roll
something
at
else
it.
with animals.
You could go lower than 5, but you might get
So-
higher.
Is it 1d8 plus?
I don't know. And then
Yeah, no matter what, it's plus your Constitution modifier. It's just whether or not you want to
That's
take the
kinda how hardy
average
you are.
roll, or
Uh-huh.
if you want to just.
Hold up. What you looking at? What you
I'm just debating. I don't take it.
Which one did you do
I
that?
tend to just go with the
This
average.
one,
So that-
this one.
this is hit points?
Yes, so it's gonna
This is
put you,
ridiculous.
yeah, it's gonna put you at
Spell?
17 now instead.
Berry.
So you're still
Yes,
one
if you
behind.
guys need food and you're just walking away. If you're like a
Don't good
sweet-
berries heal too?
Yeah, it's like,
Okay.
well, I'll heal 5 hit
Yeah,
points.
but is
Yeah,
that what I
that's
need to
what
do
we'll
for
do.
now?
You can
So
find
second
it
level,
pretty
you can use,
Are we second level?
yes,
but,
yeah. So proficiency is still second level, so
So,
these,
I don't know, it's a
these
ridiculous
charts
level
are
spell,
like
especially
your best
druid,
friend.
because there was a
Um,
modifier who was super, super high.
So when we level up, so we're
Um,
still at a proficiency of 2, so when it says add proficiency, that's what it's talking about. You now have 1 use of your channel
Oh,
divinity.
so it reconstructs.
And you know
Yeah, and
one
if you
more
use
spell
some
spell,
spell.
then
So you
it
know
goes up
3
to 10.
cantrips,
Yeah.
Wait.
and you have 3
Up to
spell
10 berries
slots
appear in
instead
your
of
hand.
2.
Right, right.
So now you
They
can switch
last for
that to
24
hours.
3.
And then,
How do I get, like,
yeah,
because
and
I
then,
used 2,
so
how do I
that's an
get-
okay one.
When we long rest,
okay,
you get
that's
those back.
Detect magic is good if you if you want to see
since I
something
know
magical,
what
you
your
can cast this.
domain
And
is,
anything,
and
Oh,
then
that would be
your
nice.
spells,
and
you
you're
can change
looking-
your spells
no,
other
no,
than
no, that's
these first 2 because those are
that's
just permanent.
something else.
Um,
Detect magic is different than
you
identify.
can change your
Identify
spells
tells
by
you
like
properties,
spending like 10
but
minutes
just read that.
praying or worshiping,
Anything,
like doing
anything
whatever
you look at,
to change
you can tell if
your
it's magical.
spells.
For
So
concentration
during
of
like
up to 10
a
minutes,
long rest, you can switch out some of your spells.
So
So
I
if you
take away one of these and add it.
yeah, one of these two. Like
Within
if you're
30
like
feet of
I'm
you.
not using
If you
Bane,
look
but
around,
this would be super helpful. You
that's a
can
thing.
swap them out. Like or if you
So-
know we're going into a fight where we're
Yeah,
going to be
but-
fighting something in particular,
I don't know.
you can switch your spell. During
That's
the long
that's
rest.
more.
I feel like for
I-
me,
as
I'd rather
utility
go
caster.
double down on the healing stuffs than and that way I can have that way I have stuff for that as opposed and then
So
I go
wisdom
attack and
modifier
I go more
plus
attack
cleric
later on.
level. So you
Alright, that's fair.
know
So
That's
I'll
fair.
go with these two,
for
the good berry and the
Wisdom
and the
modifier.
cure wounds.
Okay. Good berry and cure wounds. Good to know.
your
And
wisdom
then
modifier plus
also,
your cleric level. So you know currently 6 spells. So you only have 3 spell slots, but you can like
Grab some stuff.
prepare 6 spells, which is super nice. So you can have 6 of those cards,
Okay.
first level cards,
So now I'm
and
gonna,
choose
now
from.
I'm gonna start rolling.
So I'll help you with that in just a second.
do
Okay.
any of you have like?
It's okay. It'll start to make sense. And
Can each of you guys take like a piece of a page and just write down like AC, max HP?
do you want
Um,
sticky notes?
That'd be awesome.
If you go into my office, I think it's the top in my desk, the top right-hand drawer. There should be
Awesome.
sticky notes.
Sounds good.
Okay, so what do I need to roll for?
So if you want to roll
So I'm rolling.
your HP,
I'm
you
rolling.
roll a D10.
This one. This guy right here.
Is that a D10?
Right? Yeah, it only goes up to 8, 9, and then a 0.
Oh yes,
Zero,
sorry,
okay.
I couldn't see which one you were holding.
Yeah.
Yes, that one. So you roll that. Oh,
Okay.
that's good.
Okay.
That's 10. So you
Okay.
have 11 more hit points.
Dude, I just doubled my.
You're the beastiest of us.
Hells to the yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so now I'm at 22.
Yeah, that worked out in your favor. How ballsy.
I just yep. That was.
So your channel divinity that you can use one time is charm animals and plants. And so as an action, you can present your holy symbol and invoke the name of your deity. And each beast or plant creature that can see you within 30 feet must make a wisdom
just doubled my
saving
hit
throw.
points, by the
If
way.
it fails,
You roll a
it's
10?
I
charmed
rolled a
by
10.
you for 1
Nice.
minute or until
Okay,
it takes
so,
damage.
I need this
Well,
number.
it's charmed by you, it's friendly to you and others,
Usually it's 15,
creatures
but then 17
you
with the shield on the
designate.
way. Still
So like if we got into a situation and we're
Isn't that what we
surrounded
decided
by
last
like plants
man,
that
what number
are
are you
kind
on?
of semi-sentient and attacking us,
Scale
and we're like,
14
this
plus
is,
dex,
we don't
max
wanna take the
choose
time to
of
do this.
14.
You can do your
No, 3.
channel
15.
divinity,
No,
and it
15
will
and then 2
like
is 17.
charm them as well
It's
if they
15,
fail
yeah,
their
okay,
save,
okay.
which usually plants aren't very smart.
I just didn't
Or very wise.
change it yet.
And so if, unless
So
they
I
roll
need
really
these
well,
two both
then
these
they'll
numbers,
stop
and then
attacking
your
us
max HP.
until we
These
do
two?
damage to
Yes.
it, or for up to
So
a
then
minute.
15
So
and
basically,
one.
we
No,
can just
15
take the
and then
time to
26.
just like
15
sprint
and
out
so
of
just-
there.
just
So AC 15.
AC 15-17.
Or if there's like a
HP
bunch of
22.
animals,
I want
if we're attacked by
this, I want
wolves
your
or
saving throw
whatever,
proficiencies,
Yeah.
which is the colored in
we
dots, and then
potentially
these
have
proficiencies
the
for your
chance
color,
of getting
just
out of
your
that
colored in
situation.
dots.
Just my proficient.
Yes,
So-
yes.
So you
And
want
then your language.
strength.
No. The colored in dots. Animal handling, athletics.
Oh, not
So
these.
on the
no,
back
not
of
these.
the
Okay.
cards
Investigation, perception,
are
survival,
numbers,
or
and that
stealth
tells you
as well.
what level
And then
spells they
these,
are.
your languages as well.
You also have cantrips,
17.
which
That's 0, so
you know, you know
Yes,
3 of
22.
automatically. Thank you, senor.
So AC, HP.
And then here's a one point if your DM
Also.
customizes a spell or something.
I'm just abbreviating stuff, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then so Josh, that's AC, max HP. Your language proficiencies, your skill proficiencies, your tool proficiencies, if you have any.
No.
I can move this, can't I?
Okay, AC max
Max HP, your skill proficiencies, and your languages.
Okay.
And Miriam, your background grants you 1 language, also,
In addition to what I already know,
in addition to your 2 race languages.
I have one race language.
No, you have common in the other one,
Okay.
and then you have 1 more granted by your background,
Oh, I
just
see.
randomly.
Oh.
Okay. Now I gotta think about
Now,
this.
please don't metagame.
Right, no, I know. I'm trying to like. Be like
Yeah, trying to think of like who you better.
Draconic.
I'm trying to think of who I would have run into the most given my background. You know, regionally more what I would have come in contact with.
Oh, that's the other thing. You all get 1 extra languages, one extra language, just regionally. Not, but yeah, we'll get to that in a second. You would have
I
come.
already have 3.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
have 4.
Yeah. Sometimes
Um,
people know a lot.
yeah.
There are backgrounds.
I
that
maxed it
actually
out.
Grant you an extra 3 languages.
I maxed it out once, and I think I got, like 6 languages and 8 skills. That was like a sage
Oh, and then you want our
road.
language proficiency?
Yes, your languages. Dope. That's really nice. God
Oh, and then
dang.
the other language that you remind me of.
Yep. That as well. I love being the DM. I know a lot about your characters that you guys don't know about each other's characters. I'm so happy.
That's
Yeah.
the point.
This makes me happy. Guys, on the internet, this is what a DM does. It's so cool. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see here.
So what would I know? What's
Well, you do. Okay, so you know either
I-
Picton or Scotty. Pick one. Those are North. Those are
Picton or
no. In Picta, they speak Scotty. So you know Scotty because that's regionally kind of what you would know.
Scott.
it makes sense.
Scott Sterling. You probably come in contact with dwarves because they make your armor, or your weapons and armor and stuff. You probably come in contact with not really any of the beast races really, and not a whole lot of elves. They kind of keep to themselves in their forests. And, so elves. And then.
Like borderland racist towards us.
Josh, I need you to add Tuscan. And Jacob, I need you to add Scandian.
Okay.
S-K-A-N-D-I-A.
Oh, you want what I'm
Wait, say that
skilled
again?
S-K-A-N-D-I-A-N.
Boom.
Scandian. Just friggin' heck, I should've just stayed up there.
Here.
Gosh dang it.
Yeah, did you notice how I made him spell it for me when I could have just looked?
If this wasn't the
Easier,
internet.
that way I can look and spell at the same time instead of looking in two different places and spell.
It does look because of the way the
Dude, I cannot believe I doubled my HP. I'm still
What is
soaked.
AH?
Like that, honestly.
Jacob, what is AH? Animal handling. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Investigation, perception, athletics, survival, stealth. Okay, I got this.
Oh, are we supposed to feature like?
Just like what you're trained.
Just
in.
your skill
You're
proficiencies.
dotted.
Okay, I really don't want to move again. Gosh
That's
dang
okay.
it.
I have to get up
Yay!
because I have to bring you mine. And
Miriam,
see if there's anything
you're
different.
awesome.
I have my moments.
Yeah. Alright, and then you can take these as well. So this is your bow.
Okay.
This is the spear, and these are the communication stones.
Okay. So this is just here. This is my bow.
This is your spear, that's your bow.
And you get a stone, and you get a stone, and I
And you
get
get
a
a
stone.
You get a stone.
I
and
have
you get a
two
stone.
stones because you gave us 4.
Yes, you do.
I have it marked in my list that we each took 1, but then I have the extra.
Yeah, I mean, go for it. More power to you.
I found them, so.
Yeah, I found them, so I get the extra one.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay, so you picked green and he was white. Okay, and then I have your little mini back here, and I am so excited.
Alright.
Also, Jacob, after seeing my Hero 4 character, he was like, "Wow, you are a hippie, like, all the way."
Yeah, all the
I'm
way.
excited to see. I bought a couple more painkillers too because I have an addiction.
Did he go outside? That's
He
hilarious.
went outside and I locked the doors.
That's funny.
Okay, so
That's
we
really
have
funny.
Light.
Oh, he took blight?
Light.
Oh, light.
For his cantrip.
Oh.
And
yeah,
thaumaturgy.
Yeah, thaumaturgy. Thaumaturgy is the fun one if you use it,
It
right.
can be.
Used in tandem, thaumaturgy and prestidigitation could make for some freaking combinations.
Seriously, the one that I use the most though, cantrip wise, is Sacred.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah, because that's a dexterity saving throw, so there's the odds.
Besides
What is
just
it?
the HP.
No, not at this point.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
There will come a time. There will come a
So
time.
there's this really great series of videos that I will try and send links to.
Truth.
They're little.
Handbooker.
They're called Handbooker Helper, and they made me
Yes.
become totally Hamburger Helper.
So good.
And
Don't
yeah,
know
it walks
how to
you
play.
through
We've
some of
shown
the
you
stuff like
the way.
spellcasting and leveling up and like different things like that.
Girl helper. Okay,
Handbooker Helper.
I'll stop singing.
Uh,
Oh, the
I might have
resident
said
bard
it.
Oh,
sings it.
So you already
It's
have
so
animal
funny.
friendship.
It's so funny.
Those are the 3 you already had, so I just found them out of your cantrips.
Okay.
And then you had Bane.
So let me get this straight. In the 2 hours I've been staring at a spear, I learned 2 spells.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I just have this
I'll
profound
explain.
knowledge.
I'll
I'm just
explain
like-
it.
I'm
I'll
just
explain
like-
it. Don't worry.
I feel like that's just what your character. Your character has these profound.
I just have
moments.
these like
Wow.
mind-boggling discoveries.
Goodness, you guys. You're gonna ruin me. First, take control. Kobold
So-
tribe.
These 2 that are granted by
It's-
your
I don't
like,
understand. I don't know why I did
or
that.
like
Why did I
your-
do that?
what is it called? Devotion? That's what
I
those are
think
called? Domain.
Domain.
Devotion is paladins.
Oh,
I play both, so I
I
get
didn't know that.
confused. So
I'm learning.
these don't count against the 6 spells you know. You just know those.
That's what I
And then
want.
the
So I get
6
extra
so you get 6 other first level
And I only have
spells.
2.
And you only
He
have
knows
2
something.
picks.
I didn't realize.
So you get to pick out
Hey, why do I
out of all of
have
these.
a cup?
4
Four.
Wow.
Yeah. So having a +4 mod, like,
Have fun.
ups your spells a lot.
Have fun.
I usually know like 4, because I usually have or well, 5.
Hurry up, Josh.
No pressure. That's okay. Well, we get started, you can be reading.
Yeah. Okay, so
I did your HP.
should I do a recap or?
I don't think we need one.
We just took over a den of kobolds fairly peacefully.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
are now the
Least
high
amount of
council.
bloodshed possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
We rescued the people.
Oh,
First.
and then Reckon is a freaking mage or whatever, right?
He's, I'm guessing, druid?
Oh, dang it, I
don't
forgot
know.
his sheet today.
Oh, good for you.
Dang it. It's literally on my shelf.
We can't use him now, is that what you're saying?
No.
I
What
mean-
time of day is it right like currently?
You don't know.
That's true. We're in the sewer.
There's a
I
thing you
would
could take.
It was past noon though when we went into the,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you're starting to get a little hungry.
I
What
am
we've been
actually
eating.
hungry because I didn't eat lunch.
Yeah, I'm hungry too.
I would have given you my cookie, but I just ate it. I just
I've got candy.
Yeah, she's got
Yes. Ooh, can I have one of those? The passion fruit ones?
today.
The which one?
The passion fruit ones?
No.
Oh yeah.
Wait, the filled ones? Or
No, I've eaten all
Least
of them.
graceful.
Oh, okay, yeah, those are actually kind of gross, honestly.
All
No, they
right.
were
So
delicious.
as you
So verbal means you have to speak. Somatic means like you
So
have
if
to
you
do
were
something with your
underwater,
hands.
you couldn't cast that spell.
Yes. Or if your hands are bound, so
you
like
could cast.
we found
you can
out
cast
we
one
were like,
spell.
reckon you
Because
can't spell. He's like,
expend-
my hands are tied because he needs to do some sort of motion with
Wow.
a hand, and
Yeah.
then M is material.
You technically have the
you
right
have
rules.
a-
You can cast
So
one
you
spell.
have a holy
Better
symbol,
make
I
it your
guess.
ninth level.
And so
the
that's
whole
how
thing
you
just
cast.
talk
So
underwater.
minor like materials you
No,
don't
you
have to
can.
worry
You cannot
about,
take a breath
but
and make your
if
vocal
it's
cords
like
work. You can
a
make your
diamond
vocal
that
cords work
costs 500
once
or
with the
if
breath
it's
in your
got,
lungs.
like,
But if you have
a
something
text
like
next to it
underwater
'cause it's
breathing cast,
significant,
Mhm.
and it
water is in your
consumes
lungs,
it,
so it
or
doesn't
it,
vibrate your
like,
vocal cords the same.
even if it doesn't,
So
then
you
you have
cannot
to actually
breathe
have the
water
material.
and cast spells. You get to cast one
I don't
spell.
think there are any first level
Basically.
ones that are like
Kobe.
Kobe!
that. So it takes one action, which is or a
Wait,
bonus
what's this?
action, or is
What's
what
what?
that is. Components,
This.
how
That's your
long
spear.
it lasts. This means it's
No,
concentration.
that's your
You can only
communication
cast
spell.
one concentration spell at a time.
Okay.
Oh,
And
And then your spear
range
should be the
is,
other
like,
card.
Self or by touch or whatever.
Okay.
that's a lot of freaking gold pieces. Holy crap!
And just wait till you
Only
look
if
at your
find a
spear.
buyer.
Wait till you look at your spear.
Yeah, don't
This is
look
my
at the
spear?
Yeah.
Wait. Stealing. Holy crap, this is dark.
Interesting.
Wait, this is the value on the back?
Mine's got.
Oh!
Does yours have an inscription on it?
No, this is
Oh.
not.
No.
Mine does.
Yours does.
Here's
It's because of one of the traits.
Because of me that you have. Okay.
I.
Okay.
Not arguing.
Wait, how do you roll above a 20?
With modification.
Yeah. If you
So if I
modify,
hit like a 19 and it's like over.
yeah, if you roll a 19 and you basically if you hit with a number 20 or over, that condition applies.
So like yeah, if you roll, because I think you're a modifier of like 5.
So if you roll anything 15 or above, that condition applies.
Oh, the choice of spells.
Wait, what kind of damage is it? What is it?
Necrotic. So
Necrotic?
yeah,
Yes,
that's
so,
the kind
like,
of that's the kind
necromancy.
Holy
Yeah.
crap!
that's the kind of damage that a vampire
This
does.
is just straight
So
up
basically,
evil.
it does
Holy
piercing damage, and then it sucks life force out of you.
And you regain. Oh!
Yeah, you
hell
basically
yeah.
become a little bit of a vampire. So.
Oh, it's got lifesteal.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It's called the Spear of Life Stealing.
Oh.
It's in the name.
Hey.
Yeah,
like
elemental
a G.
spear of life stealing is what it is, and then I think yours is an elven bow of wounding. Is what I called it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I merged two of them. I merged two things, as with that as well. So that's the thing.
Fire cloud poison.
So we're chilling in the center chamber and stuff.
Yep.
Attuned.
So you guys have just spent the last hour and a half ish, kind of looking at your weapons. Yes.
Okay, wait.
Yes,
so,
students.
So on this one, every day before we do something, I have to pick an elemental.
Or if you do not pick an element, I assume it's the one you had equipped yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's like the Borealis, where you can like.
Basically, but it's
But it's only
only
one day.
once at the beginning of the day.
And so does this change the hit? So do I always roll a d8 or do I?
Yes. Yep. It's a little different. It's a little more powerful. So you roll a d8 for one hand instead of a d6, and then a d10 for two hand instead
Okay,
of.
so since I downed the other spear, I'm just gonna change that right here. So,
Yeah.
so
You
it should
can
be
just
D8/D10.
keep spear plus your attack modifiers just changes damage dice.
Okay, so it's 8/10.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I burp salsa.
Yeah, so as you guys spent your last hour and a half, something like that, in the rooms, you spending time with the bow, looking at the beautiful scrolling and carving and paint job on it, looking at the strings, they're really, really well made. And as kind of you hit the hour mark, you reach out and you feel urged to like pick up the bow. You pick up the bow, and it suddenly it springs to where it would want to be strung, like where you need to bend it to be strung. Its limbs just spring there and are ready.
Was it?
And as you kind of
It wasn't strong earlier.
and as you take the string and you string it, they relax back, and as you pull, it's a pleasant tension. Like it's about the right.
It's like it was made for me.
Almost, yes.
Almost.
And as you kind of look at the back of the handle, you see an inscription that you can read.
Whoa! You can read it.
I can.
You can.
You're just gonna read that to yourself though, so.
I can read it out loud. It says, "From death, life thrives."
Whoa.
Yep. Intense.
Vallah, as you are sitting there in the living room, just staring at the spear, with it laying on the table, you feel the same urge to kind of pick it up. You pick it up, and instantly there's and you see a line of red, of green, of kind of a cloudier green, blue, whatever the crap the other color element is. They're just bands of these colors.
Fire,
white,
cloud,
white.
Poison?
Yes. You see the 5 colors of the elements wrap up your arm, and then whoa, and then disappear.
Oh, they disappear. Okay, yeah.
And you see the head of the
intense
spear shifting between the 5 colors.
Whoa.
It's almost as though the outer edge of the spear is normal spear colored, and then a little ring on the inside of the next of all those 5 colors, and it's going from inside white, red, green, cloudier green, blue.
Well, sure.
Pretty helpful.
I mean, it's lightning, right?
No.
Wait,
What? Okay, read them
So
to me.
fire,
Read them to me.
cloud, poison, acid, lightning.
Fire, acid, lightning,
Mm-hmm.
poison,
Mm-hmm. Cloud.
cloud,
Or wait, cold. Sorry.
cold. Oof.
Yeah. Cold.
So you see it shifting from white to red to green to a little bit of cloudier green to a blue. Just shifting as though waiting.
Wait, like ring? Like are they?
Like no.
interlocking, or
Like
just-
like a little like almost like a pointed archway
Okay.
in the shape of the spearhead.
Oh, on
It's
the
small,
spearhead.
yeah, smaller. So the whitest one is the smallest. Then it goes blue,
Yeah.
cloudy green, red, and then the edge of the spear is just silver, kind of like what you'd expect a spear to be, and it's shifting from the innermost ring to the outermost ring, just shifting.
What's the biggest ring?
Red.
So can I touch that one?
Touch it. It's cold. You feel
Yeah.
just the spearhead.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how you select
You
the
can't
or
choose
what that whole thing.
all
What
that.
like so it's like the colors are like stayed there or they just keep fluctuating.
They keep fluctuating, but the ring is always in the same place.
Somebody gets
Okay.
So it's just shifting from the innermost
And one more.
down to the out, and in the middle there's just this black dot.
Bless is like.
Oh,
In the middle of all the rings, there's this black dot.
Should I touch that? Can I touch that?
You touch it,
I'll touch the dot.
and it's almost like you touch a coal, and there's that little like of like sparks.
Ooh.
You touch it, and black energy just seems to at the other side of the spear. You turn it over, and there's another dot on the other side, and as you tap it on one side, you see a little of black energy come out. The opposite side of the spear.
What is happening? This is weird. Okay. What else is? What's on the other end of the spear? Is it just like a regular?
The other end of the spear, it's almost like
So.
a little point. It's like the bottom end of an ice pick.
So you can find
Okay.
So it's like a metal cup that goes about 4 inches up the bottom of the spear, and there's a little bit of like engraving and scrolling of like the elements and a cloud and a mountain, and it's pretty small scrolling. And then it kind of widens out and then it's like a cone. But the cone's only about this tall, so it's a point. You could hit things with it, probably wouldn't do a lot of damage, but it's more of like a attraction.
Yeah. Okay. And this is like what did you say, 5 foot long spear?
This one also.
5.5, almost. It's almost as it's almost up to your shoulder.
Okay.
So.
Wait, so how do I pick a thing? Like an element? Do I have to figure that?
Just try things out.
Oh, just try things out? Okay. Like, do I just like say something? Can I say fire or?
As you say fire, there's a. And the head of the spear,
okay.
it's almost like, have you ever put like a wind blower just like past a wind blower, past a fire, and it just like flares for a second? That's basically what happens off the end of the spear.
I've done that.
I know. I've seen you do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
And it's almost like fire breathes off the spear and then is gone.
Whoa, that's cool. And so now has it changed color, or what?
Yes, okay. It is. Only the red line is highlighted.
The red line is highlighted. Awesome. This is dope, guys. I figured it out.
Yes. Spellcasting is a lot of choices.
This is the worst character.
I might have made a mistake.
You're gonna be crippled with indecision. It's like,
Hey, but Josh was indecisive. Talon is
Also
probably
indecisive.
Kind of, yeah.
yeah.
I just hit things. This is like the kind of the simplest character I've ever.
Yeah, for real. Honestly, depending on which archetype you go, it's probably gonna be your simplest character ever.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, yo.
Yep. So Talon, what are you doing while they are
Trying stuff out.
sitting with their weapons?
Because it's like 2 hours, right?
It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that.
I've just been coming up with ideas for how we're gonna run the civilization. Is it? I'm
The
assuming
band
it's
of
called.
kobolds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, how you'll administrate and how you'll kind of. All right. Where are you sitting to do this?
I'm gonna go back into the room that I was in because I'm also gonna look at some of
The Raven Room.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Right.
also look at the book about growing plants underground.
Okay. You flip through it, and it's a pretty standard book on plant growth, but it is modified heavily and some of the lines are crossed out, and there's really fine writing. It's really good at handwriting. It's very small. It's almost like Steven's handwriting, just like super tiny and really perfect. In between the lines, that it's like a note about type of soil to use, the spell that worked to keep it alive. Just notes like that on redirecting sewage to fertilize it, keeping what animals will come along. I know, it's just like ready-made fertilizer, just right there.
They just have
We were tromping
at the
through.
flush of the toilet. Or
Or
what
the-
they use to flush.
Close up a hole.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's probably
Um,
just a pit toilet.
Yeah. And it's really interesting. You only get through about like 10 or 12 pages before you
Is
kind
it a
of.
pretty thick book, or is it like?
Yeah, it as you kind of flip through it. Yesterday, there's probably almost 200 pages to it, and it goes into like a lot of like standard foods, like all the types of beans, corn. There's various trees in there, and there's about 2 or 3 pages on each of the plants, and various notes about like this one didn't survive underground. We could find no way to keep it alive, or this one thrived underground. We didn't really need to do anything to it, or notes about how to keep them alive. If it was like a standard above ground plant.
Is that it?
Yeah.
So you went into the Raven Room?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
He's making me nervous.
The Raven Room bursts into flames. And
The
suddenly
floor
bears.
drops out.
Oh gosh. No, I wouldn't do that to you
We're
guys.
already underground. Where's he gonna go?
Yeah,
Exactly. You go deeper underground.
Oh no. Yeah. So while you're in there, you kind of you sit for a while, and you you kind of do that little whole like mental math thing where if people saw you, you're just kind of going.
Is that what we look like in mental now?
That's not what I look like.
That's okay. That's what I look
I'm
like.
just like,
You
doing
look
this.
very frantic.
yeah, you're like, I was like, is someone chasing you?
Terrified.
You're trying to do math in your head.
Okay,
Come
note to
back
self,
here.
Justin hates math.
I hate math.
His
Yes, I do.
nightmare chases him.
I do. Yes. And as you're doing this, you kind of sit on the bed and you lean against a headboard and you kind of looking. you're looking around and as just kind of absent-mindedly glancing around as you're thinking about this. And two things catch your eye. One of them is a globe about this big. It's not that big. It's like
A snowball.
that's your snowball. It's a little bit
big. Oh.
Like, it's
Not like
You
it's
were
not
like about this
giant.
big, but not that big. And I was like,
I
wait.
think it just means not like huge.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little bigger than a
That makes
softball.
That term phrase.
Okay.
And it's sitting in this like it's like a little. It's almost like a bowl. It looks like someone basically just like put up a rail almost to keep it from rolling away. And it is just an inert crystal, but it's almost as though there's like it's very, very faint, almost cloudy pulse, but it's super faint at the bottom. And then as you look around, you see a number of coats that are hanging, but they're not attached to a wall, and you see nothing beneath them.
Ooh, whoa. That is weird.
and I didn't notice that last time because I rolled a 1.
Yes, that is correct.
You noticed nothing.
I went with your passive perception score this time, so
Yeah.
Just like way high.
which is 14, I think. So
Holy cow. What? Passive?
You're passive.
Like you don't
It's-
even.
Yeah, because you add your perception
to
and
10, I
to
think.
10. So your passive perception is 14.
Hey,
cow.
there we go. So I think your passive
Mine's
perception
11.
is 13. I think.
Wait,
Whatever. What's your
passive.
perception bonus?
Are you trained in perception?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm trained in
passive.
perception. I have a 13.
Wait, how do you add that?
I'm an idiot.
So what is so it's your wisdom modifier plus your proficiency bonus if you are proficient in perception.
You'll have to change that
So
on my
4?
sticky note.
That's a +4.
Well, plus wisdom, plus perception is 4.
Cool. So you have a passive perception of 14 as well. So there's a little box below your things
Okay.
that says
So
passive
much
perception.
higher than it was.
So much higher than a 1. Yeah. There's a point where if you max this out,
realizing how smart he actually is on some levels, like
just as his player is. Yeah, so as you look at him, there's just two oddities. The crystal just seems super out of place. Everything is like super dark and almost like black wood, and it's just an inert. Nothing else in here is crystalline or gem-like in nature. So as you look around, you're like, out of place. Why are coats not connected to the wall or the ground? Like you just kind of floating coats.
that's kind of weird.
That's weird.
So the crystal, if I touch it, does anything happen, or is it just?
Do you
No.
want to touch it?
Yeah, I
No.
touch it.
Okay.
You walk up to it and you touch it, and it's not doing anything at the moment. You touch it, and it leaves that fog around where your hand is. That heat.
It was like one of those electrical like lightning things, you know. I always wanted one as a kid. I never had one.
Oh my gosh.
Who am I kidding? I still want one, but.
Now you've grown up and can buy it yourself.
No, it's not the same.
Not the same. I have to spend my own money on it. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay. Okay, so if I go in like I'm gonna walk over to the coats.
Oh.
Like, I'm not gonna like run over the coats, but I'm like
Right.
walk over the
Yeah.
coats. Like-
All the coats are various like blacks and grays. It seems like the person that used to live in here was like a very almost like Batman or goth type
Say
character
very emo.
that just loved like dark things. And as you look at the woodwork, it's really beautiful. Like the finish is really nice. The cabinets, the grain is really beautiful. But there's floating coats still.
Yeah, that's not weird at all.
And as you look
How
at the
many are
coats,
there?
as you shift them aside, there's 3 or 4.
So I just push them and they're still floating. They're just like.
Well, as you push
Is
them,
it the closet that's enchanted or what?
It's an invisible closet.
as you push them, you still see a point of pressure where something is like they're laying over something.
Okay.
The kind of like what a coat rack would be. There's that point where all the cloth is stretched over that one point, but it's very it's only about that big.
Okay.
Oh.
If I like, do I feel anything that's like invisible or just like?
As you pass your hand, as you push at kind of where the midriff would be nothing. As you move up, as you get to about here where the biceps would be, you hit something, and it's only like I said, it doesn't move, and things are hanging on it, and it's the same from all angles. It looks to be about this long.
Okay. Okay. Is this the same with? Like, wait. So is this all of the coats or just?
There's 4 coats
Four
on
coats?
one thing.
They're all hanging on one.
They're all
thing?
hanging on one thing.
Okay.
And as you push into them, it would appear to be about this big that you can find surface to push on.
But it's not like touching the floor.
It's not touching the
It's
floor.
floating.
It's a good 4 feet off the floor. 4 or 5 feet, something like that.
I don't know what to do with this. I'm gonna take the nicest coat off of the rack.
Okay. So you take the nicest coat off the rack, and it's almost like that thigh length like suit jacket overcoat. It's got a really nice like silk interior, and there's a little bit of like gray dust on the shoulders, just kind of like they couldn't really keep it as clean as they wanted to down here because it's not the cleanest environment.
But the sewers isn't a clean.
Yeah. Walked in that one. There are moments where I go, oh frick, that wasn't a good thing. Oh.
It's okay, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. I feel like that's what you all are here for.
Yeah. It's very
Gosh dang.
Alright, so you take the nice cloak.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they? They're just in. Because I'm in the reading room. Are they just in?
I'm in the central area.
They're.
Yeah.
Because
they're
I
both-
sent the
Yeah, I was
family
gonna
into
say
my
we both
room.
are.
Yeah, she's in the armchair and you're sitting at the couch with the spear laid out on the coffee table while this is happening.
Right.
Because
Okay.
simultaneously, imagination, so it's a thing.
Okay. Well, one I'm gonna put on the nice coat, and then when I go see them, like I'm gonna go talk to them.
Okay.
You're not gonna be like, hey yo, this is a weird stuff.
All right. You put on the nice coat, and it's a little tight over your armor. I mean, you are wearing armor, and it's more of a
Wait,
fitted
didn't we have
coat.
No, it's being clean.
Oh, you took your armor off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it fits nicely. Oh boy. Oh man.
We need
That would
to
have been funny though. His character would do that too, just put it over his armor.
Oh my gosh.
We should have recapped for you.
Yes. This is why we need a recap.
We're
For
not.
me.
We're not wearing armor at this. I don't think
Yes.
any of us.
Yeah. You guys. Some kobold servants came and they were like, "Hey, we'll take your armor and we'll clean it
Yeah.
so it's not full of poop." So you put on the nice coat, and yeah, it's tailored. It's a little bit big for you, but not super big. It's not like the goofy baggy where like the kid puts on the dad's shirt and is like walking around with like 3 of
It's
him
not
can
like
fit
that
in
one
it.
suit jacket that I wore to that.
No, it's not. No, it's a little more fitted.
Remember when I wore that suit jacket to the murder mystery thing?
That was
Where I
hilarious.
was killed?
No, I don't think you got that.
Yeah, you were. You're Elizabeth.
Oh, you're
Olsen.
talking like, oh my
It was a
gosh,
long
you're talking
time
like
It was a
6
long
years
time
ago?
ago. It was a long time
Wow,
ago.
dude.
Um,
Anyway,
Oh, shit.
it's
Yeah.
not like
So-
that.
It fits nicely. if not a little big, but it is fitted to where if it was smaller, it would fit you almost perfectly.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. I'm going.
He's
to
walking out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hi.
When you say I'm gonna go walk out and do this, I don't do anything. That's
Well,
you. It's all on you.
I'm already like on this picture.
Okay. So remind me, what's the layout of the room?
Yeah. So by this
we
time.
still have to look around the room, guys. We still didn't look at
Yeah, but by
I
the
figure that's
time
what I do after.
by the time you both you've been sitting in there thinking about how to
And reading.
run the thing.
Reading after
You've been
that.
reading. You found the two things. You spent 5 minutes puzzling over floating coats, and then you grabbed the coat and you walked out. By this time, about the time you walk out. Excuse me. There's a from the top of the spear he's holding, and he goes and
that is the sound he makes.
I'm the main character at this point, guys.
and you see almost like a red hue come over the wood and the engravings on the spear, and you look at Amari and she has the bow and you saw it like flex and then relax, almost like a living entity, and then all the beautiful carvings and the things on it. You walk out and you can't help but be like, wow, that's really nice. It's really nice.
Dang it, none of you guys know that joke. Never mind.
Yeah. So you walk out.
Yeah. So which one is the one that's close to me?
So as it lays, I can sketch it for you if somebody has an extra piece of paper.
We got the back of a map.
I have a computer.
Without a piece of number.
Yeah, that'll work. Back of the world map would work just fine.
City map.
City map.
City map, that'll work.
Makes sense to have the map of our
Underground.
house.
True.
Would that be actually kind of cool? Because you could just like map the underground tunnels like just underneath on the other side of the city. That'd be pretty cool, right?
They're pretty intense.
Anyway, so it's just the three of us.
Just
in
the
here,
three of
right?
us, and then the other people are in Amari's room.
Yeah.
Which is
Alan,
Now,
Lilith,
Amari's
and
room.
Thomas.
Huh?
Alan, Lilith, and Thomas.
I already forgot their names.
I wrote them down.
Awesome.
Yeah, me too.
That's why I take notes. And they're color coded.
You're just not gonna let that go, are you?
I made a key and everything.
That was a good sound effect for that.
Thank you.
I'm just picturing Amari just fully kind of nope.
Okay, just which one of them is close to me? Because that's
Amari.
Okay. I found a weird floating code rack in the Raven room and a crystal ball of some sort.
Did you touch them?
I touched the crystal ball and it did nothing.
You took
And I'm wearing one of the coats.
I now notice because you're wearing a fancy coat. Okay. Yeah, I guess we can go take a look at that floating coat rack.
I don't know what to do with it. It's just
I mean, it might just be a floating coat rack,
I
but
know.
we can go check it out, I guess.
okay.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna leave Jacob to blasting fire.
I don't know how to check this, but Vallah is welcome to come with us.
Yeah, come on.
We're going. You can come or
Okay,
stay. I don't care.
here. I'm just gonna put this down.
Okay. Yeah, I leave the bow there.
Before you burn something.
I said it with
It
my,
was
my
one
swords.
gust of fire. It doesn't like spew fire.
a nice coffee
That'd actually be really
table.
cool if it did.
That's a nice.
Fine,
Oh,
here,
that's-
I'll
Put it up on the wall or something. I don't know.
It is a stone. So
Yeah,
Well,
stone wall.
We're underground.
take comfort.
I walked to the Raven room.
following her.
Yeah, as you walk in, you see it's like I said, it's
Yeah.
just a dark interior. Not a lot of.
This is the opposite of you, Talon.
Also the
Yes.
opposite of the room you walked into.
Also the opposite of my room.
Oh yeah, because we
haven't seen each other in
any of the other rooms.
Yeah.
No, you haven't. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I just see floating cloaks.
Once he points it out to you, yeah, you see 3 cloaks that are about the bottoms of them are like 2 to 3 feet off the ground, depending on how long the coat is. So, do with that what you will.
It doesn't touch liquid. It's floating. It's not only invisible, but it's.
Is it
also
invisible?
Is it invisible?
Did you pull
Wait,
all the
is-
coats off? I pull all the coats off.
Is the
And
top part
floating
visible?
there is a rod about this big. It's made of metal.
Do I know anything about this?
Um,
Does Amari know?
you know exactly what this
I'm
is.
pretty confident I know what this
Yeah,
is.
roll
That's Mary.
an Arcana check.
An Arcana, oh balls.
Yes.
12.
That's decent.
I
I mean, it
It's
wasn't,
not great,
wasn't
but
a
it's
very
not
high DC.
horrible.
it's a pretty common item. You find them a lot. This is an immovable
Immovable
rod.
rod.
Yes, this is an immovable rod.
Okay, so I kind of
If
like
somebody wants to.
reach out and I click the end of it.
Yes, you click the end of it and it comes down. It's about a foot long rod.
Okay.
That is there. Yeah. So it is just sitting there in your hand.
It's just in your room, it's yours.
You just get a floating coat rack.
Or you can stick it in something, and when you stick it in and click it, it's there until you undo it. It's you can't
Yeah.
no amount of weight.
If
no
you
amount of
look at it,
anything.
it's a
Wow.
DC
Whoa.
30 strength check to move it 10 feet.
Yeah.
Holy
so
cow.
Also, it can hold like 5,000 pounds
Yeah.
or something. I wrote it
so
on there. It's a lot.
basically, we
It's a
could
lot.
use it like if we need to
It
rappel
can
down
hold
something, you
8,000
can
pounds.
stick it in and click
Holy
it in and
cow.
tie a rope around it.
8,000?
It's
Is that what it?
invisible.
What is on there?
This is 8,000 pounds.
8,000? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So
Yeah.
it's.
That's
It
like
can be
3
useful.
cars.
Yeah.
Well,
it
depending on
can be
the
I
quite
was
useful.
gonna say.
Yeah, it's 3 little cars.
Anything else you found in here? You said that crystal
crystal.
thing.
Where is it? Like in the layout of the room? Where is the
Is it like on a desk or on the bookshelf?
I'm getting there. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holding.
Hanging on. What movie? Oh, of course Josh wouldn't know. Never mind.
There's also 2 other people in the room who could have gotten
Yeah, I
the
know,
reference,
but
but they didn't
no
either.
one
But
would
of
get
course,
that reference.
Hang on, it's familiar.
Right? I mean, it's so random. There's no way that.
Chicken Run?
No, it is. They
They say
part
something
animated.
similar. Oh, part animated. Part animated.
Yeah, part animated.
I think of what movies I know that are partially animated.
It's an older movie. Like this, I watched it when I was a kid. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
I have to think about how much younger you are than me and what that.
So give or take,
He's
probably
like-
10 years.
He's
Yeah.
a year or a half older than me, so
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
9 years.
9.
It was one of my favorite movies.
See, we watched Page Master, which was partially animated, partially real. I feel like a movie person. I'm failing.
Well, I mean, this is a pretty rough reference.
I might not get it. As soon as you say it, though, I might feel stupid.
Space Jams.
Ah, yes,
Space Jam.
love that
I've
movie.
never even heard of that.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
We should fix that.
But
No, it's the part of
I have a friend who's had the soundtrack stuck in her car for like 5 years.
It is a good soundtrack.
And this is the sewer tunnel outside, and these are the 3 rooms. This is a raven, eagle, vulture.
Okay. Oh, cool. Thank you. for
Yeah.
that. Much appreciated.
So, me,
Talon.
an eagle, vulture. Yeah.
Me.
So as it stands, raven is on the right. Raven, eagle, vulture. Yep.
Okay.
So where in the room was the crystal?
The crystal was on the desk on the right side. Yeah, that desk.
Yes.
I think it's.
The fact that you do the same thing my brother does. Freaking hilarious.
Okay. Yeah, look at
So
the
show it to them.
crystal thing.
Ooh.
It's a rum ball, a little bit bigger than a softball. It's in its little holding
Bowl
cup thing.
Is it magical?
I don't know.
Did you touch it?
I touched it and nothing happened.
Oh.
Do you wanna?
Oh, true.
Does he have what I think he has?
You may or may not have a spell that could totally help with this.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay.
That's so good.
So then I will cast Detect Magic.
Okay. That makes things so much easier. Yes, the ball
And then
is
for the
magical.
next 10 minutes, you just need to run around.
Just run around the room.
Space and find all the things that are magical.
That's true.
That's
You do
funny.
that.
I am Ghost.
So funny. Yeah, you look at it and it is magical.
Felt a little like Yzma.
Hey look. It is magical, and as you scan around the room, so the globe lights up, something in the pile of coats lights up.
In the pile of coats, so it's
Do
one of the coats.
Do you...
Because all the coats are on the floor now.
No, well,
Or
okay.
on the
I was gonna say you throw them on the foot of the bed, because why disrespect coats?
Yeah, come on.
I mean, I really just like.
Yeah, I felt like when she
So
said it,
there's-
she just
there's
rocked
kind of all
off.
the floor.
Caught them because I have athletics and I
Just,
put
hey,
them on
look,
there.
that'd be acrobatics, but okay.
Same.
It's
okay.
definitely not the same thing. It's definitely not the same thing. So not the same
That's
thing.
okay, that's okay.
I do have one acrobatics, so there you go.
Fair. I mean, yeah.
I have 3 acrobatics.
It's no like plus 15 reliable talent
Right, I'm not
level
Tom
20
Holland.
rogue.
I'm not saying I'm Tom Holland here. I'm just saying.
You don't even have to be Tom Holland. Like just never mind.
Alright, let's move on.
Anyway, something in the coats is magic.
Yes.
Thing is magic.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Did you say anything else?
No, I was waiting to see what you said. What you were going to say.
Know what I was going to say?
You so it says you find a faint visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any.
Oh.
Penetrates most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, and a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood. So like he can't see the other rooms, but most of the stuff in this room he'll be able to tell, and he can tell whether it's like, yeah, what school of.
What's
Right.
it is.
And this cat is
I don't actually know what school of magic these things are. I'm
That's
gonna
fun.
guess
Yeah, go for it.
and say the thing from the coats is illusion based.
Okay.
No idea what the crystal ball is.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that's what lights up in this room.
Mysteries.
Alright.
Okay.
Or I just don't do my homework.
Oh, that too.
Well, you didn't know we were
So
gonna
you
pull
said
that.
so.
Yeah, I didn't know you would have that. So
So you cast.
Prepare for more things.
So the things you said the things light up. Am I the only one who sees
Yes.
this?
yes.
Yes.
It's kind of like
You're
kind of that like in dream sequences where like people with the sun behind them have like the sun halo. It's kind of like that. It lights up in that way. But you don't like get like, oh, it's this in the coat. So it's like pile of coats. There's something magical. Crystal. There's something magical.
Okay.
So.
I'm gonna go dig through the coats to find objects.
Okay.
I don't know what he's doing, so I'm just gonna like look at the bowl closely to see if there's anything on it while he's going through coats.
Make an
I'm gonna
investigation
say
check.
the
I'm
crystal
gonna
ball
lean
is
up against
magic
the door.
of some sort.
Oh, okay.
You gonna lean against
I'm
the
just
door?
gonna lean against the door, watch both of them, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know much.
Okay. Yeah. There's a couple. There's some runes. You don't know what they are.
Okay.
There's some runes and there's some things like that. Oh gosh. I drank the wrong thing before I came here. As you dig through the coats, you pick up the first coat. Nothing is glowing. You pick up the second coat. Nothing's glowing. And it's actually the third coat that is glowing.
The whole code is
The whole coat. The whole coat is what is exuding this presence of magic.
You put on the wrong coat.
Yeah. I literally picked up the coolest looking coat, but then it's the worst one. Come on.
Holy Grail, Last Crusade. Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Point taken.
Okay. If I put it on, I'm gonna take the other coat off and put it on. Does anything happen?
It's a lot heavier than what you'd expect from a coat. You put it on and it like the other coat was like 5, 6, 7, something like that. Like it was more of a winter, but it wasn't like a light like summer jacket. You put it on and it's like 10 or 12 pounds. Like it's decent. And But you hear. Actually, make a no. You very faintly hear almost like a rubbing of like almost what leather would be if you just rub two pieces of leather. As you put it on, you almost hear like it's very very faint, but you hear a little bit of like almost leather rubbing.
What is the code?
You might want to investigate that. Just.
Is there anything, like, looking at the code, is there anything, like, unique about the code that I see?
It's glowing.
It's glowing. From your perspective, it is indeed glowing. No, it looks very. It's pretty similar to the one that you picked up, but it's a little bit more. It's leather, and it's got a couple more buckles on it. It's got like 3 or 4 buttons on it, and not like a Dracula collar, but like it's like if you flipped it up, it would like come up to about here.
Oh, cool. So it's like a trench coat almost.
Almost, but it only goes to like kind of like just below where your pockets would be. So it's just a little bit longer.
No, seriously, why don't you just make an investigation check? And just look for stuff.
Sure.
Just in case.
That's not
Never
great.
mind.
Never mind.
Just put on the coat and call it good.
Okay.
What was your number?
2.
Oh, that's what this
And-
was.
Yeah.
I gotcha. I thought you were like pointing at your eyes. I was like, why are you pointing at your eyes?
I'm watching you.
Yeah, and I have no modifier for that.
No
so-
modifier. Okay.
And none
Yeah.
of us are particularly great at it.
It's
I have
yeah,
a
it's
+2 on that.
it's
Oh,
a
you do.
bit of a like it's a coat.
It's a coat.
Awesome.
Is it at least comfortable?
It's heavy.
It is comfortable.
But leather is.
It's also heavy.
But it's that's good.
But you're
It probably
you are kind of
does
weak.
that. Does it give him like an extra armor mod then? Or
We
like
don't
is it
know yet.
thicker? Or oh, okay, no, yeah. I'll just throw my spear.
Do all that extra damage
Cheers,
and
it's
probably
comfortable.
kill him.
No, okay, all right.
Probably knock him out. That'd be hilarious. I'll show
Well,
them.
hey, while you have your magical spell running, maybe we should check out the rest of the place.
Yes.
Minus my room, just because there's a family.
Yeah. We'll just do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be
let's go.
Sorry,
So,
guys,
you're-
we're just
Well,
perusing.
we could do this room first and then.
Oh, true.
We're trying to find magic stuff, so just go back to sleeping. We're just greedy.
just pretend we're
Prediction,
not here.
The spear is gonna light up. Anyway, let's
Yeah,
go. Let's go
anyway, go.
back into the common.
Into the main room.
Common.
Into the living room?
main
Alright.
living room.
As you walk out, yes,
Gryffindor Copper.
the spear lights up. The bow lights up. Amari, what have you done with your swords? At this
They're
point?
sitting with the bow.
You're sitting with the bow. As you look at the swords, one of them lights up. The one half of the swords lights up. As you walk over to the vulture room, it's like at this point it's the faintest trace you've seen. All 3 of the doors, just it's like almost just a very very fine sheen of
On the
light
door?
on the just like for you from your perspective, it's glowing ever so slightly
On all 3 doors.
on all 3 doors.
But mine's the faintest, of course.
Well,
No,
No,
it's the
they're
same.
all-
They're all really really faint.
Oh, I thought you said it was the faintest one.
Okay, so the doors are glowing for just a little bit, which means there's some sort of magic on the doors. Not anything super elaborate, I don't
Can you
think.
tell what kind of magic it is?
Oh yeah, because I.
Move on. I'll look it up
Okay.
because the internet is very helpful.
abjuration.
Which one is
Like shield of faith. I don't know. You just do your thing.
Yeah.
So walk into the room.
Yeah, we walk into the
Vulture.
Vulture.
You walk into Vulture and nothing really is glowing.
We
Yeah,
took everything
figured.
magical out of there.
Yeah. If you'd walked in here 2 hours ago, you would have had a light show. No, it's interesting. You walk in and nothing is glowing as you kind of like look side to side, but then as you look at the end table, there's a small bead. It's about that big. It's got a loop of rawhide, and it's sitting on the table. And you look at it, and it is glowing.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick it up.
Okay.
Look at it.
It's gonna electrocute him.
You instantly take lightning damage.
Make a dexterity save.
Instant death.
It instantly casts Fireball on point of origin.
Oh no! Oh no! No, you pick it up and you roll it around in your hand. It's smooth all the way around. It's just a black orb. Rolling it around in your hand.
How big is it?
Yeah, it's maybe that big.
Okay. This is magical. I don't know what it does. It just looks like a bead to me, but
I think we should collect the things we don't know and put them in the common room and maybe
Yes.
reckon
Yeah.
we'll have some answers
Yes.
for us.
Yeah.
Or we can
Reckon.
take them into town and find somebody smarter
Who
than
actually knows
us.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Let's do that.
when in doubt, ask
Yes.
someone smarter.
When you looked at the doors, it was an abjuration-based magic.
okay.
Or
Which
layman's,
means-
you should.
Which means layman's terms, it's like locking or protecting.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
That's kind of what I was guessing. But
Okay, that's what I thought too. So, all right.
And it's over the whole
And
door.
then that's all the rooms that we can look at, right?
yeah.
All right. So what do we have on the end table? We're bringing stuff out here.
Yeah.
Did I
we
didn't draw
don't-
anything in the main
stuff that we
cap, okay.
don't know.
I'll put it on there later.
Stuff that we don't know is gonna go on the coffee table.
Which is on the right, that side of the door. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like couches along what would be the south wall. The coffee table's a little bit north of that.
So then this is north.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
As you look at it, it's like couch, coffee table, armchair.
Okay. So everything is gonna go. That's how you draw an S. Okay. So we have two things. You're wearing the jacket.
So we've got
You're
the
wearing
bead,
the jacket.
the jacket, the orby thing in the bowl, and
That's it.
That's it.
that's it.
Those are the only ones we.
And then the doors.
Okay. I'm gonna take the
And
jacket
then-
off and put it on the.
Oh, you're actually gonna take the jacket off.
Yeah.
Okay. So now those three things are on the table,
Okay.
and then we wait. For something.
I'm just gonna look around the room for anything else. It doesn't have to be magic, just anything of interest, anything that might give me some answers about who the dude was that was running this place, or the other guys that he apparently killed.
Okay. Yeah. As you
Is
as
anybody
you
else looking?
Do you want me? You.
I just mean it's gonna
You want me
be
to? I
yeah.
was gonna
Why
say,
don't
if
why
you-
don't you roll and I'll just give you advantage.
Yeah, so roll an
That's what we
investigation
do.
check.
Yeah.
Okay. 18, 20,
Nat
You roll a
20.
natural 20?
nat 20.
We know everything.
So
Ah,
that's a 22.
that's a 22. Gosh almighty.
I like
Why do you guys have to break
I
up the natural
know.
20s at the worst time for me?
I know, like,
Not
the
during fighting,
manufacturer
but
of
during
the door.
information.
Yeah. Only you
None of
only
us
roll
have
natural
nat 20 in a fight.
Yeah,
Not that
that's
we
so
fought,
true. It'll be
nat
so dope
20
when you
in
do.
like, I'm just looking around for tracks. You know everything. You know who
I
was
just
here
like- I'm
for
just
how long.
Ah, yes, I know exactly.
I'm a better tracker than even I do.
Okay. All right. As you look around, as you're looking, and there's a bookshelf to the left, and that deals with various schools of the arcane, various creature types, fiends, celestials, and the like. A lot of beasts. It seems this person studied a lot of beasts while they were down here for the 5 or 6 years they were down here in the sewers. Boy, oh boy.
That's the one time that doesn't really have a lot of information that we can learn.
Right. And then roll that on the magic items.
Yeah. As you look at the bookshelf, nothing really remarkable. You start like pulling out books. It's just like
Trying to find a trap.
make one open. Nothing opens. As you kind of like pull through the drawers, you pull it open, and you're feeling inside, and you feel the top, and your hand finds a key. You pull it out, and it's about this big.
Okay.
And it's got the little like three holes with the little. It's pretty ornate for the size it is, and it's a golden key. It almost has off the sides of it. It has like a wing off each side, so it's got even more like turning surface, if you will. So the top of it is like.
Do I know what kind of lock it would open, or is it just a standard key?
No, it's a key. I mean, it's an ornate key.
Right. Okay.
But you're not exactly sure like what it would open.
Okay.
Um,
So I'll probably just
Set it on the table.
Yeah, I'll just put that up on the table with everything else.
Right. Yeah, and as you go through, there's nothing really. You find a couple locked things. You try the key, doesn't open. You're looking around. It's really all you find.
Okay, cool. So I found a key.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No one's found anything that keep well.
And all the
We
things that
haven't
I found
investigated
that I locked,
the Eagle Room as intensely, so maybe later we'll see if there's anything in there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it up here on this coffee table.
He's gonna go chill. I'm gonna, as we were going through the books, I'm gonna go back and, was it a book that was on fiends, celestials, and beasts, or were they like separate things?
There's a book on fiends and there was a book on celestials.
Okay, I pull the book on celestials.
Okay.
And I just sit down and start reading.
All right. Yeah. You only get a few pages in before there's before thump.
Yep.
There's a knock on the door.
I'll go answer the door.
Okay. You enter the door.
You are the meat shield now.
Yeah,
I am
for
the
real.
meat shield now.
For real.
From max HP increase.
Yeah. And as you guys were sitting there, kind of you all were kind of sitting,
You're grounded.
watching, kind of. You were looking at the shield. You all were running, or the shield, the spear.
Yeah.
You all were kind of running through the events of the past couple days, the talking encounters, like what you said, how you could have said it better, how they responded, kind of getting insight on how these people think. And as you think about kind of how you fight, the moves you saw other people use. The tactics that were used, you suddenly feel a little more capable. Thus the level increase.
And then I could just know 2 more spells.
Yeah.
2 spells.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
Whoa.
Yeah, so you open the door and it's Reckon. He walks out.
What's up, dude?
What's up? What's up, little man? Yeah, you walk out and he's there. He has a spear.
No, dude, I already got one.
It would be about the length of your forearm.
Yeah, okay.
Like
It's like an arrow for us.
Yeah, basically. He's holding it, and it's almost like it looks almost like a glaive blade. So it's a little curved, and then it swoops back around. And he stands there, and he's got on this really nice set of like black armor. It looks like it's not metal. It looks like it's black wood that he's very, very painstakingly like put together. Like put on a backing, some sort of like leather backing, and as it comes to like the front of the armor, the very ends are almost silver.
Wow.
So he comes to the door and he's got that on. He's got a blue armband around his right arm. Master Vallah, it is time to attend the feast. Your armor is here. And he steps aside, and 3 servants carry your 3 sets of armor in, and hand them to each of you. Is customary for the head council to wear armor? I don't know why. I'm wearing armor.
Well,
I
at
don't
least
like
it's clean.
armor.
I'm not gonna complain.
You see him kind of like shift a little bit in his armor.
Got a little bit of
like reach
veggie.
inside and like scratch and like
Dude,
pull
honestly,
out.
though, when you wear Kevlar, it's the worst
It
thing
is
ever.
very uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable.
It's
It
bad.
does not breathe.
Yeah, like
It's
4 hours into it, you're like, like just get this.
I often sat at cooking just holding my chest up. It's like, this is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, you see him kind of like scratch underneath
Peel that thing
the.
off.
It smells so bad.
Oh, well, yeah, but that relief is unparalleled.
Yes.
Parallel to none.
Yeah, so you guys put on your armor. It takes a couple minutes. The servants help you, which makes it a little faster.
I don't know how to spell memory.
If you wish to bring a weapon, that is all right.
Wait, just one?
We pray you keep it to one.
Okay.
The space gets a little limited.
I put my swords back in there.
All right. Yeah. So, what are you guys taking with you?
I mean, I'm taking
Your new
the
spear.
spear.
You're taking your elemental spear of
I mean,
black
I don't
steel.
want to like just leave it here. I mean,
I clasp my swords and sheath them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ching.
I'm just gonna. I don't know how to. If it just stows on my back or
I'm guessing since you had a spear before, you have some sort of sheath.
sheath.
That
Yeah, you have a leather tube with an end at the bottom that you just stick the blunt end into, and it kind of sticks up over here.
Just don't go bending over poking people's eyes
Right.
out.
The people just.
I mean, that's true, they are.
You'd have to like lay down and like barrel
Just
roll.
kidding, I forgot how tall they are.
Don't crawl around it.
Don't poke my eye out.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Talon?
I guess I'll take my crossbow.
Alright. Yeah. You grab your crossbow, you kind of sling it over your back. It's comparatively small. It's only about this big. You put your quiver of bolts on your hip. You guys are led by Reckon.
And we make sure we put our crowns on.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I've been wearing mine this entire time.
Yes.
I
You put on your
definitely took mine off.
you put on your flower crowns.
I just feel like it matches.
No,
my-
definitely, I'm wearing it.
It matches my hippie attitude too much.
It really does.
Oh boy.
Oh man. Yeah. So you guys walk out. You are led north. Hold on.
North? So we take a right out of the.
Yes, you guys take a right. So the cavern you fought in.
Door or this?
I
Main
take
door.
2 seconds to poke my head in to the eagle room to check on the family. Are they like asleep? Are they awake and resting?
The father is asleep with his arms around the boy, and the woman is laying there, head sort of propped up, just staring straight ahead.
Okay.
So PTSD.
Probably.
Basically.
You're welcome to rest in this room if you need anything. I'll make sure somebody checks on you. Just rest. We'll be back soon to figure out, soonish, hopefully, I don't know their customs, to figure out how to get you back to the surface.
She just kind of looks at you and nods. Thank you.
Yeah, she
Mhm.
is. Yeah.
Now I head out with everybody else.
Alright. Yeah, so you guys walk out, and you are led north. You go up, and then you are led to the right, and it kind of goes back a ways. And then you guys hang a left, and you're led out into you pass a couple intersections. You're led out into a chamber. It's about, can't remember when we made it. I think it's about 80 feet across. It's about 60 or 70 feet across. There's a wooden table that's about 10 or 15 feet long, and it's wide, and it's laid with all kinds of platters. There's a pit on the other side of the room that has a some sort of an animal stuck through. Yes. As you look at it, it is a pig, completely whole. It's been skinned, and it is turning.
That's the best part. Cracklings.
Yes. And as you guys watch, there is the ever present hissing as fat drips off into into the coals.
Yeah.
What was that noise?
Nothing. He was just.
You want them to scrape the fat off.
Yeah,
Very
no,
carefully.
yeah.
Can you
I'm
squeeze
not
the
much
fat
of-
juice from the
Not
meat?
much of a
Red meat
kind of a
person.
guy,
Yes,
so-
you've told.
Yeah.
You walk out and the food tables is off to the right a little bit, or off to the left. Goodness gracious. And then off to the right, there's a table with only one barrel, but it's a large barrel of and as you it's
Of.
it's on a low trestle.
It's a party.
It's on a low trestle, and you see a line of 3 or 4 people, and this rather rotund kobold is there, and he fills. And out comes a brownish liquid that goes in, and then you see foam kind of come up to the top and spill off to the sides and hands it to the person. And he's just in the process of just filling these
repetitions.
big tankards.
Got a good head. Might be good.
Yeah.
Of these tankards, and you see various bottles on like the side trestle. There's a table set up. It's a round table with 3 legs that's got 5 or 6 bottles on top of it. A couple of them look like wine. And then as you as you look to the left, there's 2 tables set up. And they look to have some sort of like dice and cards on them. There's 5 or 6 people around. There's 5 or 6 kobolds
Look
around.
at her.
She's had the good luck, man.
Literally one time.
Yeah. So there's 5 or 6 kobolds around the tables. Just looks like throwing in copper or silver, just gambling around. And then in the rest, kind of the empty space, you see there are. It's very much of a picnic setting. There's straw bales set up. There's 2 or 3 of them, and then there's just blankets set out. And kobolds are taking food from the table, getting meat. And as you look at the table, there's no meat on it. It's various forms of vegetables and like mashed potatoes and it looks like hard-boiled eggs and it's really hearty, fairly simple food. And they're getting their food on these wooden platters, taking it over, getting a this fairly decent-sized slice of meat, and they're going and they're sitting down at these hay bales and these picnic blankets.
Are we
So-
led to the main table?
So, there's a table for you guys to sit at, because you are the head council.
It's a thing we are.
As you guys are led there, you notice that there are what you thought before was a square table is actually 2 circular tables that just has a cloth over it. That's the food
It's a
situation.
pretty square round table.
You know what?
Life is rough.
Yes.
It's rougher with us.
For real.
Okay.
So you guys are led, and there's 2 stools on the long side, and 1 stool on the end, and the other 2 sides are left empty.
Are there more stools or like there's just?
No, there's just the 3 stools,
We're like the only
So-
ones at table.
pretty much.
Reckon, where are you sitting?
I was going to grab food and sit with. My parents are over there, and he points to
parents!
he points to 2 kobolds, and you see
Miriam's like, can we meet your family? Amari's like, oh, you have a family, that makes sense.
you see they're not old by any means, but
I
they
just don't
look
know where he gets the magic from, honestly.
even
That's
know.
what
they look to be
I
probably
know how kobolds age.
they make a nature check. Anybody that wants to make a nature check, make a nature check.
Oh, that's not the
literally
worst.
everybody.
Everybody.
14. Plus.
Any nature addition?
Just 9.
No.
Just 9?
11.
11?
Just 14.
14? I mean, it wasn't that high of a DC, Josh. You still missed. So,
Yeah, you missed apparently.
you rolled a 9, right? Yeah.
Probably 10.
They can live to be quite old.
Oh.
You guys know that they live. They rarely live to be. They rarely live to be their full potential age of about 140 to 160 years old.
Okay.
But often they often die earlier than that due to their harsh living style.
They do die. That's unfortunate.
I'm kind of keeping him on the same page. That's all.
You can also just say, "I relay all this information." It really
Yeah.
streamlines
I'll
the
just
process.
relay that
Just
information.
really like, yeah.
But technically, the last time he said, "I'm going to relay that information," then he also told us all of your information.
That's
that's
true.
true.
That is true.
My bad.
Oh man, that's funny.
That is the thing that happened. Reckon, I think it's fitting that you sit at the table with the council as you are the reason we are here.
You are chief of staff after all.
Right.
I forgot you.
Executive chief mage or whatever.
How many titles are you guys giving him? Jeez.
Executive chief mage
All
of
the
staff
titles.
of state.
Of underground. What kind of magic do you do exactly?
Yes.
I mean,
I used to sneak out of the tunnels and go run around in the forest. I almost died a couple times.
it is a harsh place.
It is. There was a bear,
Okay.
and that was the first time I found that I could use these powers. I felt like it came from the forest.
I
So
believe we would call you a druid where I come from.
is that what it's called?
I mean, that's what I know.
I've never heard a name for it. Like I knew that like people born
You are
with
now.
yes.
So now you are
So he is our.
executive druid of staff of state.
Exactly.
Executive
he
chief
looks at you.
druid of staff of
Executive
state.
chief druid. I feel like it's probably.
He kind of looks at Vallah and you
Executive.
see him kind of just sag a little bit and then Amari
Chief druid,
kind
etc.
of says that and he's like
Yeah.
and as you're
I
still
won't
rambling
remember what to call you if we give you too many
Yes.
titles. Either.
and as you keep rambling he looks at you and he kind of leans
You are the
Mage
ECD.
he kind of leans up to you and says
Executive
Mage,
chief
crossed out, druid, staff and state, etc.
he kind of leans up to you Amari.
We need to carve that into a door. For
I
him.
try to be the reasonable one. We'll get you a nameplate.
And an
You
office.
should
And
desk
an
office.
Speaking of office,
Go
where
for
where do all of you live? Like, do you all have your own?
The
Areas
tunnels
or-
in this area are often quite. North of here, we redirect the flow because we don't want to be walking through excrement.
Yeah.
So about that as
reasonable.
we thought so as well. About 400 years ago, about 100 years after this city was founded, the city was quite small. But once they put up the wall and they started building the inner workings of the city, they hired the nearby tribe of kobolds. We used to reside in the forest, but they found us and they hired us. I was obviously not alive because this was a very long time ago. They found us and they hired us to dig their sewers. We dug their sewers and they forgot about us.
Typical human.
And so we redirected the flow so that we were not walking through human excrement. And we made our warren down here. So as you walk through the tunnels, you will probably see doorways. We've dug out homes for ourselves. Yes, Vallah.
Do you have like a map of like the inner tunnels and stuff like that?
As far as we have explored, yes. We have not explored all of them because we have lost many scouts in trying to over the past 50 years. From what I've heard. I'm 34.
Yikes.
But
That's real confidence booster there.
but I heard that we started trying to map the tunnels about 50 years ago. Our cartographers, our cartographer found.
You just have one?
Yes, yes. He has an apprentice who is quite gifted though. So,
Okay.
and our cartographer's getting on in age, so he will probably pass in the next few years.
I'm sorry.
And, well, he hasn't passed yet.
Okay.
And then his apprentice will take over. Yes, I will send a servant to go find that for you.
Appreciate it.
He leans over, and it seems like there's like 3 or 4 kobolds that just always follow you guys around.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
And he turns to one and whispers
Bless
something. Add a D4 to all the
I
things.
cast blessing on myself.
As you can.
He leans over, says in language he says in Draconic something, and the kobold darts off up the northern passage. So.
Reckon, why don't you get some food and a stool and join us at our table? I don't want to keep you from enjoying the feast, but we do have lots of questions.
Yes.
But we are here to eat, and I want to make sure that you get some food, and I'm a little hungry too. I don't know about you all, but
Yes. And where does the line for the ale start?
He looks
will not
over.
be going there.
He looks over, and there's two kobolds that each have
Master Vallah.
that each have a
Terrible
tankard,
excuse.
and then when their tankards get filled up, there's no line, and the guy sits
I'm
sits
starting
down
to get the
on a stool.
idea.
Yeah, do you guys want some? I can make a beer run.
Sure.
Okay.
I love that you.
So for 3?
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I have to make 2 trips. 'Cause, yeah.
You're not that talented with how much you drink?
No, I'm saying each of you get 1, and then I'm 2, so I only have 2 hands. Well, I mean, I could.
Carry
Yeah,
forward.
I'll carry all 4.
I was like, you can totally do
Alright,
that.
so I'm gonna walk over to
And
the guy.
as you break off, a small kobold just tails you.
Follows me. That's not creepy.
Reckon shows you over, and he shows you various types of mushrooms they cook. There's almost like an asparagus, mashed potatoes, stuff like that on the table. And you guys go over, and the kobold at the pig is like, good to see ya. Bigger portions for you lot. And he pulls out.
the crack water.
He pulls.
Just a little bit, though.
You guys.
It's a
Goodness.
big hint.
His house is right under the top. He's
Oh my
got his accent from William.
Oh jeez. And he takes this big fork, almost normal size for you guys, but it's big for him. And he sticks it into the side of the pig, and he just goes, shh, 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 and he cuts out like a chunk, and he sticks it on your plate. He cuts out another chunk, sticks it on your plate, and he cuts out a third and fourth chunk. A little bit smaller for Reckon, because he's like, I'm not gonna eat that much. So you each have your food. And you guys take it over to the table. As you walk up, Vallah, to the trestle with the keg or the barrel of beer.
With my man.
Right. You see the rotund kobold get up. Okay, so you're here to drink, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want the ale? And he motions to it, and you see. Emblazoned in iron across the front of the
I'm just brewing.
emblazoned in iron across the front of the keg is a fist. And
Called it.
it is on there, and it is clutching a lightning bolt.
That's nice.
Or would you like? And he kind of like gestures to the table that's like the top of it's like here for him.
So like here for me.
Yeah, it's about normal size for you.
Okay.
Why did
And-
they even have a table?
And we got various. We got 2 types of brandy. We got a whiskey. We got 3 bottles of wine. Now, if you're taking this back up to the other members of the head council, you might want to grab one of these bottles because they're probably gonna go quick after you guys have gotten your drinks.
Right.
You do. I reserved these specifically for you if you wanted to take any of them for yourselves. After that, they're probably going to get scooped up by a couple of the families and distributed among their.
Of course, yes. I wouldn't want to
take any supply from my fellow brethren of the drinking kind. But perhaps a bottle of wine for the table and
Yes.
3 ales to go around.
Yes. Would you like a pitcher?
That would be great, actually.
Right. So he pulls down one of the bottles of wine, and the kobold immediately just like walks up
Oh, that's
and
nifty.
takes
I
it.
got an extra set of ales.
I don't know why we were worried.
That means more.
And he hands you 3 tankards, and then he grabs the a pitcher and he fills it up. And it's like a big pitcher, like it's big. And so he fills it up, and then he hands it to the kobold, who kind of.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then
you even take it.
he walks over and he puts them on the thing, and then he takes a tankard at a time and he fills it up for you.
Oh, okay.
Hands it back to you.
Oh, am I carrying these ones?
Yes.
Okay, good. I was like, I would hate for him to do all the work.
Yeah. So he went back, and then he started to come back when he saw you had them.
Yeah.
And then he kind of stood there
I'm gonna walk.
and waited.
I'm gonna walk over to the table.
Okay. What arrangement are you guys sitting in? So as of right now, this table is a facing the south side of the
Is it like overlooking all the people?
more or less.
It's not pretentious at all.
N-
Come on.
It's just
We
not
are
Amari's
Okay,
style.
well, you know what?
Anyway,
It has only been 3 hours, so
right?
it's gonna take a while to get used to, I guess.
So yeah, it stretches, like I said, 10 feet ish. There's 2 stools and then one on the head, and then Reckon pulls up a small stool and sits at the other head of the table, or the foot rather. I don't know, whatever. And
I want to sit closest to Reckon because he's my boy.
all right, so you sit kind of with your back to where the wall meets just the empty tunnel. There's a cloth with like some. It looks like Reckon had some fun with some flowers and some vines, and it's a really beautiful, almost like a grape trellis, but with like flowers and vines. And he sits down and kind of looks at it, and there's a little like.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Nice.
sits up a little bit. So yeah, you guys sit down, and it is facing south, and it is looking over kind of
Everybody.
the rest of the room.
Cool.
So you said you had questions. What can I answer for you?
I want to know a little bit about your former leader. Who was it? Oops.
Well, we never knew his name.
What? Weird.
He never gave it to us. He came and he proclaimed himself the elegant demise.
Oh, that's not pretentious.
And we thought we were pretentious.
When he challenged for leadership, it was made apparent why. He fought with an incredible amount of elegance and brought down all 5 of the other challengers. So we eventually gave him the nickname as well. This one he revealed to us later. He called himself the Phantom Reflection. He was able to do something. He would create multiples of himself. This was how he won the fight. He created multiples of himself, 4 of them, himself included. So there were 4 of them on the field. His enemies got confused, and all 4 of them were able to hurt the other challengers, but the challengers could only hurt his true self. So
Did the copies disappear when they died?
we never saw. They didn't die. It seemed as though attacks just passed through them.
Okay.
And then they all walked into the same space, and we never saw them again. He kept to himself mostly. He demanded books on fiends and summoning and things like that. He was researching celestials as well. He said a work partner of his was a celestial of some sort. But
Did he ever give a name?
no. He said that, and he kind of you see him kind of. Gosh, I didn't say this. New leaders, but he was the old one, and he might come back, and like you see just these conflicting emotions inside of him, and then eventually he's just kind of. He taps one of the servants, and he mutters something in his ear, and the servant walks off to the east side, and he says, his personal servant will be here soon.
Oh.
She, well, they were a couple. She was killed. No. There were two
I'm
servants.
so lost.
There were two servants.
Okay, because couple.
And the two servants were a couple, and the wife.
Literally, everybody at the table was like,
What? He was in a relationship with a dead kobold. I'm so confused.
Necromancy!
Right? That's kind of where I went. I was like, that carries some weirdness.
Right. Ooh, dodge a bullet. Nice job. Here we go.
Yeah, I just said it wrong.
Yeah.
I totally
Yeah.
meant for it to come
No,
out like that. I just said
totally
it
works
wrong.
fine. And just for a second there, it was like, this just got real awkward.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, so, so she died, and he was, it was some accident. They walked south in the sewers, and we never saw the wife again. But the man came back crippled, almost, and it looked as though he was aged. When he left, he was but 45. When he came back, he appeared to be almost at the end of his life.
Wait. Just they went. What were they doing? Like where were they going?
No one knows. They walked south. We saw them go south.
And she went with the Phantom Reflection, and he came back aged.
They both went with him.
Oh.
She never came back.
Oh, she never came back.
And his servant
came
came
back.
back.
You want to give me names? Reckon I work better if I know names.
The Phantom Reflection, we never knew his real name.
Right.
The servant.
Sukdu was the female.
Subdu.
What's that in the west?
Sukdu. Sukda. Something like that.
Subda
And Vignu is the man.
And he's on his way, or like you sent somebody to get him?
I sent someone to get him, yes. And about this time, one of the fourth servant walks up, and he has a map with him.
Oh, sweet.
Yay!
Let's come grab this.
What's up, son? Kobold.
That's probably upside down.
Yeah,
I didn't write a
it-
compass rose on it.
It matches the.
Yep.
That's it.
I actually haven't put it up against one and put it to the light. That's probably
Yeah,
cool.
it lines,
Yeah, it looks-
lines up awesome.
Yeah, it lines up pretty good.
Okay, now we're gonna try this. Let me see it. Haha! I'm so happy with
Pass there.
this. Okay, cool.
So the tunnels are.
They're just lines.
It's just no, but no, they're on the majority of them are all on the east side. They haven't even gone to the west. So
highlighters.
I'm guessing that we
Ooh.
are
That was freaking hilarious.
right.
I'm guessing. Reckon, where are we on this map?
Get up,
Or
get
are
up.
we in this big open area?
No, this is
No, this is this.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is on a separate sewer system,
Okay.
completely. You guys are here.
Oh, okay, we're here. So
This is where you saw the funeral procession. This is where you fought. This is where you now live. This square is where you now live. And these other ones are.
Would you like a color to color in where we live?
Oh, the way you said that, I was so excited.
Yeah.
Do you want a color?
I really like highlighters.
Yeah. No kidding.
These are erasable too.
They are?
Erasable highlighters?
They're friction.
What? That's so cool.
Not a
So
sponsor.
here, make a key.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just make a key, and then we can color coordinate everything.
Okay.
Josh.
Now that we can color coordinate things.
I know, right? It makes everything
Make
better.
sure you don't raise the tunnels.
Alright, well they're peering over the map. Reckon before PR, as I'll call him,
Wise decision.
came, how did you live? Like, were you peaceful with the city above? I mean, it sounds like they didn't even really know you were here.
We never engaged them in combat. We took the various things we needed every once in a while. We tried to subsist on what we could grow down here, but we could preserve. A lot of it was us. We were friends with a lot of the purveyors of goods up topside, and then PR, as you called him, came down and took control of us, and we've been this way ever since. And I'm going to be honest, I don't like it.
I would assume not.
So about 5 years ago was when you started making raids on the city.
Yes.
Did he ever show an indication as to what the raids were accomplishing?
I believe he was seeding distrust among them. Whenever he could, he would go up and he would create an illusion of himself. He would be a high-ranking military figure. He saw him once and was able to then make himself appear that way. And he would make himself appear thus, and he would command us in our raid. I never found out what happened to the official, but it was to seed distrust and disloyalty, I believe is the word he used, towards the government.
Okay. So he was trying to seed chaos, basically.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. What's
So
this?
weaken
What's
the
this circle one here? This big,
We haven't
this
been
big
there.
chamber.
We've only
Yes,
been in this
yeah.
one. Oh, right.
Reckon.
Hmm.
What is this
Sorry.
chamber here further to the north?
Hold it up, please.
The bigger-ish one.
I need to make a copy of this and put this on the inside of my.
Largest one.
Oh, that is our agricultural hub. We plant our crops there, and we use we have various livestock that we use to fertilize. We don't use the
Human.
human.
I
Yeah.
don't blame you. It's not very
I
good.
feel like it probably wouldn't be good for us.
It wouldn't be good.
So we use the animal
Right.
the animals to
Do you
fertilize
have
our
many
crops.
animals? That's one of my questions. I wrote a question.
We have multiple. I think we have about 25 chickens. We have 2 pigs. We have 1 cow.
Was the 2 pigs before this or after this?
Before this, we figured it was.
Okay.
No. Sorry. We still have 2 pigs.
Okay.
We had 3. We figured this was an occasion to get rid of one and put it to good use.
Okay.
We haven't had a feast in a while. PR.
PR.
He took most of the best things for himself.
I can tell by his room. And you said you had a cow?
Yes, one.
What kind of cow is it?
Uh,
I totally wrote my W upside down and made it a calm.
We have a calm.
I have a calm.
Well,
Whew, long day.
it provides us with milk.
Oh, okay. So
So-
it's a dairy cow.
It's a dairy cow.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
me as Justin was genuinely confused what you were talking about. I was like,
Yeah, no, what kind of, so whether it be like...
yeah, like a meat cow or a...
Dairy cow.
Gotcha. Okay, now I figured it out.
Where are the batteries for the camera? Because it's already on half.
I have 2 more.
Okay. Are they charged?
Yeah.
Okay.
Charged off.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, by the way, yeah, the game's downloaded this morning. Both of them. Apex and...
Were you working to become
this morning.
like self-sufficient and sustainable down here? Was that one of his goals?
That was not one of his goals. That was one of our goals before he came.
And then he
What
derailed
did you
those
say?
plans, making themselves sustainable down here.
Okay.
Yes.
Without having to steal.
He...
Can I?
Yes, interject.
I would like to return to that time.
Yeah.
Try to return to that
Focus. More
focus.
on
Yes.
Focus on
Accomplishing that.
growing you instead of destroying the city above.
Yes, we agree. And a lot of our elders believe that as well.
Good.
Good.
With that, what if we left? Like, if we needed to go back to the city or continue doing things above ground, if we left someone in charge, would they be respected and acknowledged as such, as a stand-in for us as leadership?
Or would we have to go through the whole trials again?
Well, then that would boot us probably.
It is customary for there to be a stand-in. You'd have to pick a figure, well, it'd be advisable to pick a figure that the tribe already knows.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, I wouldn't recommend bringing in another outsider to rule in your stead.
No.
But I believe that, yes, he would be respected if he or she would be respected if you put them in position and you personally announced them.
Mm-hmm.
It couldn't be
Right.
you leaving and him showing up
Right.
saying, I have
Yep.
the word of the head council, yes.
Would you recommend anybody in particular?
There are some that have ruled in the past, but were defeated by a merciful challenger, left them alive, be a translator and or someone that knows the customs and that sort of thing, but.
You don't have to answer us right this second. You can think about who might be good and
Yes,
and let us
I will.
know later.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a hefty question.
And as he says, I will. The out from the east tunnel comes the servant again,
Comes David.
Here we go.
and behind him, or rather to his side, there is a small, well, not small, but he looks to be normal size, but he's hunched.
I just smacked my elbow.
It's impressive.
I've got talents.
He's hunched over and he has a staff and his scales go from the normal red, they're almost gray or silver, and almost dead looking. So he hobbles forward at a much slower pace than the servant wishes him to be going. He gets up to the main table and he says, "Oh, hello, you must be the new head council. Yet another one passes."
Hopefully we will do you more justice than the previous. Vignu, is it?
Yes, and you must be Miss Amari.
Not the only female.
She must.
Vignu, can you give us a little insight into your previous master?
Well, he was a short-tempered man. Often when me and my mate did not do something to his satisfaction or his timetable, we would be punished. But we found a decent job. He paid us a small amount. But he was, and you see his breath start to quicken a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He was interested in the lesser, the lower planes of existence, and he looked at various summoning rituals and various fiends. He couldn't. It seemed that no book satisfied him. He was looking for something in particular, but he never found it.
What is that? What happened to you and your mate?
Yes, we were taken south down into the tunnels. He had cleared a space of excrement and he found a chamber, cleared it out and laid a very nice groundwork. It's a very nice platform with a small well in the middle. He went into the middle of the circle and he started to draw. Me and my mate, we recognized the runes as draconic, but we did not recognize others. Eventually he beckoned Sukta forward, and I watched as it was as though wind passed through her and sucked everything I knew out of her. Everything I knew, everything I loved. It was sucked out and then left a husk. And then what was left was absorbed into the circle, but nothing came. And so he beckoned me forward. I did not want to go. He grabbed me forcefully, pulled me forward. I was standing there and I felt my vitality leaving me. I felt myself age. I felt myself get older, hunched. Get this. You see him kind of like straighten up and this bent back. And when I was almost dead, old, aged to the point of death, out of the circle, there came almost a blue smoke, and then a flash, and then a dark figure that ran away. I did not look. I was preoccupied.
Oh, yeah. What the frick? Good God.
Okay.
So there's a problem.
I'm sorry for what's happened to you. I wish I could tell you we had it in our means to undo what's been done to you. I also need to know, Vignu, who was he working with?
There were a number of individuals that came and went. There was a human man and two women, a Goliath male and a Goliath female.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was himself. There were multiple meetings where he was cloistered in his room or his greater chambers with only his one or two companions.
Mm-hmm.
But when they all went south into the sewers. None of us were allowed to follow. One foolhardy child tried, and he was sent back. He is still alive, his mind was never the same.
You said there were 3 humans.
Yes.
Was PR an elf?
He was. He showed up. We never knew where from, but he seemed to just appear from the shadows.
Okay, yes,
And
yes,
only
yes,
one
that is
Goliath.
what that is.
No Goliath female?
No, there was a Goliath female.
Okay.
Male and female.
Oh, okay, because there was the human man and 2 women, and then a Goliath man and a Goliath woman.
Yes.
Okay. How long ago was their last ceremony?
This happened to me about 8 months ago. And they only came around a few more times. That was the last time I saw them. They were at the ceremony that killed my wife.
So 8 months ago was the last ceremony that PR did
With his companions,
with
yes.
his companion.
They stood in a ring
Yes.
around
the
circle.
sigils.
Yes.
Okay. Which one was particularly interested in the Celestials?
PR. Is that what you said?
One of his companions was particularly interested in Celestials, according to Reckon.
Oh.
I don't know which side. Reckon's over there.
I thought you said that.
No, Reckon's in front of you.
Oh, he's in
You're
front
at
of me?
one head of the table, and then it goes Talon, Vallah, and then Reckon's on the
copy.
other is directly in front of you.
I'm tracking now.
No, as far as I knew, he was the only one.
He was.
He did speak of a business associate, another one that I never saw.
Okay.
That was interested in particularly the upper planes
Yes.
is what he referred to them as.
Upper planes.
And the understanding why there are children of both.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything you can tell us about this business associate?
He only came once. He had dark skin. A black cloak.
Black cloak?
Yes. It looked to be bluish. Bluish clothing underneath. And he had a sword and a dagger at his side.
And he's been here before.
Only once. Right after the ritual. I was attempting to attend to my master, and then he sent me away when the man arrived.
Okay. So he knows how to get here. Thank you, Big Man. And Mari just kind of sits back and starts drinking her ale, thinking.
Yes. If you do not mind, I will return to my quarters. This is as young as I am technically supposed to be. I am quite physically.
The servant, there's a servant next to him. What's your name?
People call me L.
L?
L?
L,
Yes.
can you...
Usually it's spelled E-L-E, but no one ever says Ella.
What do you want it to be?
Ella.
Okay, Ella,
Ella.
I'll call you what you are if you want it that way. Ella, I need you to take some food back with Vignu here and make sure that he's comfortable, please.
Okay. I'll do that.
Appreciate it.
And you see she kind of walks away with him,
Oh, it is a girl.
And,
Yeah.
Ella, yeah.
Yeah.
And
That was
so
a guy at first.
gets
sorry.
a
Nobody
plate
ever calls it Vallah. I'm like,
and gets
okay.
gets a chunk of meat, and they walk slowly out the east side of the room.
Yeah. Amari's checked out.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yikes, that was intense.
Okay. Now I'm gonna speak up to reckon. Okay, so
It's my
Going
D&D
back-
brain being so happy.
going back a little ways.
Going back a little way.
Yeah, just back it up. Just let's go back.
You said you had an agricultural hub. What have you been able to grow down here?
Oh, well, we've been able to grow only 2 types of trees. One of them is completely useless. But the other one is a variation of an apple. Is there indeed?
It is there.
I'm gonna, just give me one sec.
There's a matter that requires your attention.
Yes, I don't know where that is. It's right there. Okay. What is it?
Okay.
I'm confused.
Do either one of you have this is actually Talon talking. Do either one of you have like practical like business skills or like
Excuse
in a trade or something like that?
Yeah, it's called stabbing stuff and killing crap.
Besides that?
No. Oh wait, sleight of hand. I have 1.
So he can steal crap.
Yeah.
Good. No. No.
I have a +1 on medicine too.
I'm kind of made for one purpose.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I hit things and hit them well.
I just came from the mountains, kid. I can't really get much
Okay.
practice doing business.
So I'm gonna well, they're chit-chatting for just a second.
Yeah.
You know.
This didn't cross my mind earlier.
Yes.
Do I recognize
There's so much crap going on.
this?
You were able to grow 2 types of trees and one of them resembles an apple. Does it produce fruit like an apple?
Yes, and we've eaten it for years. It's quite good. Actually, there's some he kind of points to a bowl, and it's like almost it's like a greenish yellow, kind of like a pear yellow.
Is it a pear?
No.
Oh.
You actually have one on your plate. You pick it up and you bite into it, and it's like crisp and crunchy.
Like a
Oh,
pear
it's like a
apple?
golden delicious.
A pear apple, Asian pear,
Oh.
Korean pear.
Yeah.
It's got like 1,000 names.
Yeah.
Sure. You can name it.
I'm not gonna name it an Asian pear. There is no Asia in here. Or Korea.
I mean, just go far enough east.
Pear apple.
Yeah.
Were you able to grow any like other plants or crops
Asia.
or?
What are you looking at?
The map, like the big map.
This is Alpina or
Yeah, just
Alpina.
like Asia.
What was your question?
My question was, were you able to grow any other plants or crops or?
Yes, we have well, our lettuce crop is not doing well.
Bummer.
We have some tomatoes that have shot up pretty quick in the past few weeks. Asparagus, we grow potatoes very well. But other than that, we've been experimenting with various types of berries, various other tubers. A few of the tubers have taken. None of the berries have really decided to stick around.
Hmm.
Tomatoes, potatoes, what else did you say?
Beans, tomatoes,
Asparagus.
asparagus, lettuce.
You said the lettuce was struggling, but. Okay.
Apples.
Apple. Okay. We're gonna call them that.
Apples. Oh, is there an easy access in and out of the tunnel system to the
To like the city.
city?
Yes, there is actually.
Oh.
Wonderful.
Amari kind of pays attention now.
I don't have the map on me. It's it's this intersection right here.
It's really close to where we live.
Yeah.
This one right here?
Yeah, right there.
The
Start.
star. Because that.
We actually dug a new one into the bottom of a warehouse for our for PR. He before that it was a little ways away, but he
So
demanded.
this is the new one that you wanted.
Yes, this is the one. This is the one that he demanded.
And so it correlates to what on the surface?
There's a warehouse
So just
in the residential district of the city.
oh okay.
It's one of the few warehouses.
This one?
Yeah, there's a there.
Now I got to look.
So on the key, circle means tunnel.
Or like surface access or
Or not
something.
this one, not this circle. It's more than oval. Yeah, like that. Actually, you almost made it purple right here. Oh yeah, that's true. There is two access.
Yeah. How easy is it to like you said you have a cow down here, how hard was it to get the cow down here, like to the sewers?
We took it north out of one of the tunnels that goes under the city wall. It's a drainage that we took the bolts out of and made a gate basically on the outside wall. Then we took it in to the forest where we have a long tunnel going from the forest down into the sewers.
So you have tunnels that reach outside of the entire
Yes.
city?
Those are not on the maps we submitted to the city as the official sewers.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
You want to move Ghost down here eventually?
Yeah. You don't know Ghost.
I know.
You
I have
don't-
a mule named Ghost.
You don't know.
I want to move him down here. He can pull carts.
Oh, cool. That'll be handy. I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that was literally my only question that I had for him, to make sure that we could go in and out pretty easily. And then so then we can also take the. What time is it right now? Give or take upstairs.
Upstairs it would be
That's what I'm gonna call the service. Upstairs.
kind of thinks to himself for a second. If I had to gauge, it'd be between 8 and 9.
At night. Okay.
Reckon, what do you know of the magic on the doors in our chamber?
Oh, those are a puzzle that I helped solve originally. There's a small well, for each of the birds it's different, but on the inside there's a small piece that if you push in and turn, it is locked. It cannot be opened except if a certain spell is cast that gets rid of it. But it is then magically locked until you push the piece again and it unlocks.
If I push it,
Yes, from the inside.
From the,
Oh,
yeah, the
from
people,
the
whoever's on the inside,
Copy.
it's a one way.
I can't be snuck up on.
Right.
Correct.
Very handy.
Well, I mean,
I know.
Yes.
I know.
okay.
What was that? Never mind. Okay.
There's a whole lot of secrets over here now.
There's so many. Now that I'm
So
now that I'm
bad.
thinking
So
about it, I'm
annoying.
going.
This is so annoying.
I mean, that's a lot I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah.
Whatever! I like basically gave you my whole life story. On one page.
But you also
I haven't read your backstory.
No, I mean like you asked me like before we went under, you were like, so what exactly do you do?
I frightened and I drink ale.
Yeah. Well, there was that too.
he's trying to prove himself.
That.
I don't know that, but you
I
know
do.
that.
It's funny that Josh knew the thing he wasn't supposed to know and gave it to someone who was supposed to know.
Well, I mean, like, I know, but
It's kind of funny, honestly.
Marion forgot
That too.
Amari had that conversation.
yeah.
Amari knows.
That's all that counts, right?
There's a reason Miriam takes notes.
Okay. So for the what is your way of like sustaining yourself? Like, do you have jobs and roles, or do you have a business?
Well, we have some jobs. I mean, there are jobs. There are assigned jobs that people fill in. We don't necessarily get paid. It's more of a do it for the good of the clan type mentality.
All for one, one for
But we each have, I mean, we trade among ourselves for things we need, and it's true the leaders are given a lot of the power, but it's supposed to be that we have a say. We didn't under PR, so.
well, it's gonna change today.
Things will change.
So in regards to the people, do you want to move them out tonight, or do you want to just wait
In the morning.
in the morning?
Yeah, it's late-ish.
Alright. So tomorrow we will be making a trip upstairs fairly early in the morning.
Okay.
And we should also just kind of make that one loop and run by and get our stuff from.
Tubby.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, whatever. I literally have all my stuff from Tubby.
No, I
essentially.
don't. I don't think. No.
I didn't bring like my backpack with my stuff in it. I just brought my basic adventuring gear.
Yeah, she traveled light.
I brought
I literally
some-
just
It
took
was basically like
everything.
swords and a torch. I think.
I brought some torches.
Oh yeah, I still have your poop covered torch.
Yeah, I brought my water
Come on,
skin,
stick.
have rope and torches, other than my weapons.
I mean, that's pretty much what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, are we good here on this front?
Yeah, I think just enjoy the rest of the
For
feast
now, we'll
and
just
Yeah.
sit back, finish drinks.
yeah.
And as you guys kind of start wrapping up, there's
Okay, I have a
Um,
question. Is the ale like good or like
it's
to my taste?
to your taste it is
freaking
very
Iron
good.
Fist brewing.
It is well brewed and it is
Or your
fine. It's got a really nice like
That was
texture.
me simulating how I drank my ale.
Oh man. It's really nice ale.
Okay, reckon where does this ale come from exactly?
Our past PR, he bought a number of barrels of ale from Iron Fist Brewing. He was happy to sell. PR paid top dollar. There were a few things. Well, those were things he was willing to splurge on. He rarely spared a penny.
Hmm.
I see.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
So reckon, do you know anything?
Amari's just kind of playing with her food on
Do you know anything about a crystal-like orb that we found in one of the side rooms, the Raven Room, or chambers?
I've never used it. I've seen it be used. It creates light.
Creates light.
Yes.
How so?
You usually PR just said a word.
What?
It was a word. It was a word in I could never understand.
It's probably Elvish.
I didn't sound Elvish. It flowed, but it was harsher.
Ooh, okay. And it just illuminated itself and just.
Yes, it turned into an orb of light.
Was it written on the side of it? I'm role playing.
No. He spoke to it.
There's something written on the side of it. You guys should check.
And whose room was the Raven's room? Actually, who was in the rooms prior to us, besides the middle one? Obviously, that was PR's room.
It was a group of kobolds.
We found a number of items that we don't know necessarily how they ended up there.
Oh, I would chalk it up to pillaging. That group left quite frequently to pillage on their own. It was never violent pillaging.
Right.
Perhaps pillaging is the wrong word. Pilfering.
Pilfering.
They would go into shops at night and they would slip in unnoticed, take what they felt they deserved and leave. One night they got caught and they fought back and they were killed.
Oh.
And that's when PR stepped in.
I see. Well, I think that's all that I really had to say. Ah, one more thing. There is a key that I found in the main compartment of our dorms, if you will. And it does not go to any lock that I can tell inside the room. Do you know anything about that?
No, I didn't see him use a key. Normally, he would wave his fingers and it just and it would lock or unlock.
Is there anyone who would know? Like any previous owners of the room?
Are there any previous owners still alive?
Alive, that's the other part that,
No,
yeah, so.
they either are died of natural causes from old age, or like I said, the group of three.
That's the other thing, okay.
They were killed.
Yeah, I was gonna interject. Kind of since we started talking about like all the other people in the sigil and everything, I'm just kind of assessing how much I trust Reckon. And how
Oh.
honest he's being, and if I think he's actually good.
Okay, and I'll roll an insight check.
Took a while to
Yeah,
decide what it was
that's
gonna be. It's 17.
17.
Oh crap. I swear, Miriam, if you ruin this for us. Shoot. This is not good. This is not
Yeah,
good.
we're talking.
Yeah, but like, I really, really want him to not be bad. Do you have anything to share?
No. not yet.
Okay. Well, because I was also going to bring up the bead thing that we found.
You can ask him.
Okay. So, lastly, I've probably said that twice now, but this time it is the last thing.
Yeah.
There was also a bead found in the room that I originally searched.
Was it about that big and black?
Yes.
Yes.
That's an orb of direction.
What is that?
You spend a moment with it and you designate a command word. You speak the command word and it points north.
Oh, dope.
Was it on a leather cord?
Yes.
Yes. You usually put it around your neck, you say the command word, and it comes out and points north.
Oh.
Otherwise, you will let it go and it will travel north.
I see. That is interesting.
Many of our trackers and scouts
It's
have
like a
those.
compass
That's a nice
snitch.
That's a nice.
Pretty much.
I'd hate if you're facing south and so.
It goes through your throat.
Through your jugular. You just bleed out.
Okay.
How did he die? His compass killed
His,
him.
his compass.
Oh jeez.
All right. I think that is all the questions that we will have for today. But
Alright.
yeah.
Reckon when the feast is over, I just have a few more things I want you to think about who you think could lead in our absence. But join us in our central chamber to talk about that when the feast is over.
And you kind of wrap up your conversation. You see him kind of nod to one of the servants, and the servant then walks into the southern tunnel, and through a curtain, and out of the curtain come a number, probably eight male kobolds and 8 female kobolds. They walk into the middle of this room. They form a circle. And one of the kobolds that's been sitting kind of in the towards the south side pulls out a drum, and the other one pulls out a smaller drum, and they set a beat. They set a cadence, and as the cadence swells, just a steady beat. And then the other one pipes in a little bit faster. And they start to revolve, and then they start to go a little faster, and then the small drum double taps, and on the double tap, the man throws the woman to the inside of the circle, and the next double tap, they throw her to the outside of the circle. And then as they build to a crescendo, there's double tap, there's a double tap, and then a single tap, and then a double tap, and then a single tap. And all the while, this big drum, doosh, douche, 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 and then douche, and then all of the men throw the ladies into the middle of the circle. And as they all come to the middle of the circle, they all twist, almost joining hands, twist and almost create a flower, and then land just opposite of where they were.
Oh, cool.
They go into various intertwining twirls and jumps and kicks and leaps and this goes on for a number of minutes and then and then they all get thrown into the air and then they get caught and they land and then they bow. And they walk down the south.
That was so
down into the south. just yeah.
Preoccupied.
Yeah, obviously.
But then, as they walk into the south tunnel, you hear a gasp, and then they all come back out. And
What's happening? What's happening? Come on, speak.
And as you watch, the curtain is pushed aside. And as you watch,
Oh, I swear.
out comes these two long, hairy legs that push it aside.
What the? If it's a spider, I'm gonna lose
That's
it.
a spire.
Two more come, and as they come out, they turn almost white as they come to the base of this carapace. And as it comes further and further out,
spider.
these two more legs hit the sides of the walls.
Like dramatic music.
Hits the sides of the walls and almost pull it to the right.
This is why we're in armor.
And it slides around to the side. The top of its carapace you can now see is almost green. And then out behind it comes another one. Not as sickly looking. The first one looked a little smaller and almost if a spider could look clammy.
They are.
And out from behind that comes two long black legs that then fade to red. Long hair that leads down to like a almost a tan junction. And on its back you see a goblin. The goblin is sitting there with a bow, and as
What the frick is a goblin doing here?
as it rides out into the middle of this circle, all of the kobolds instantly just scream and they just run.
So hang on, hang on. What is a goblin doing
We
here?
don't know yet.
And as it rides out, the goblin kind of shrugs the curtain to the side and looks around. What?
Is there a possibility that it's not bad? And I just was like, no.
And as it looks around, it almost has this aloofness. And it looks and it sees the kobolds and it draws an arrow and knocks it and pulls it back.
Oh no, you
and
don't.
shoots a
swear.
kobold. Shoots at a kobold. Hold on.
You better not.
Does not hit.
Yes. Oh.
And it strikes right by the kobold and embeds itself in the hay bale. And this kobold looks and turns and as
not
the
noticing the spiders.
as the goblin looks at you, you hear it say, "My mission. I would like you all to roll initiative, please."
Okay. I'm just gonna throw my spear at it immediately. 17!
9.
Plus your
Swear to
dex.
God.
Plus your
my
dex.
dex. So what? Wait, my
Yeah.
dex.
Plus
20.
3, right?
20?
Yeah.
Wait, this dexterity or
Plus just in your dex, there should be a little plus something.
one? Plus one?
Oh, plus 1.
Yeah. In this box?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 18.
And then Josh, I need this. I
Oh,
don't know
dude,
how to
they
say
got
this.
spiders! Holy cow!
9.
I need this thing on. I don't know how to do this thing, Josh.
9 plus, what is 9?
9 plus 3.
So 11. So 12?
Yeah.
Mathing is hard.
Mathing is hard. Like, honestly, I like to have dramatic music going on.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I moved in a little to the side.
Those spiders are pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
And by cool, I mean gross.
Painted them myself.
I'll have to check those out later.
Yeah, I was really proud of them. I got new toys, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go paint
Does
these.
this mean we're gonna have a lot of spiders here?
I can't handle a lot of spiders in my campaign.
I knew that it was gonna freak you out, Jacob. I was so excited.
You just got lowered on
I'm on your friend list.
my... Yeah.
So actually, one
Hey, Josh,
change
come
that
here.
I make to your.
How do you switch it to camera, or the record? Oh, it is recording. Never mind. I already did it.
So now you have 2d8. So during a short rest, you can roll a d8 to.
Dude, and all I have is my spear. Like I don't even have my. I don't even have my shield. Do
I mean, I would have assumed you would have
Okay.
brought it and hung it on the, like, centered it in the back of your
Kind of
suit.
ceremonial.
For a second
Not
there,
a
I
shield,
got
I just
super
never
worried.
use it.
I just got super worried. I mean, the music was just phenomenal. I was gonna say. We don't even have to edit that crap in later.
No.
Just get that roomy feel.
Duels.
Dude, he's making a whole freaking. I like how ours is the only ones that don't have actual minis.
They're coming.
Mine's not accurate. That makes
Isn't
me feel
it?
better.
Alright, so,
No, she fights with 2 swords.
where did I put, there it is. Okay,
Well, my
so,
guy,
This
it
just
was
happens to
funny.
be one that I have.
Because the character that I went with, he's just in a constant charge.
it's kind of hilarious.
He's just gonna be like standing still, but he's gonna be like this, like trying to kill
Yeah.
stuff.
Alright, so, can I have 25 to 20, please?
20.
20, alright.
Really? Wow.
Well, I rolled a 17 and I have a +3 modifier.
Wow. I wish I had a +3 modifier.
What did you get?
17 with a +1.
I got 12.
Because you didn't roll a 2.
That's true. But I'm grounding that one. For now.
Problem is, we're still like crazy far away.
What is the goblin wearing?
So the
The goblin looks to be just wearing, like, leathers. He's got these, like, bands around his arm.
We're like almost 50 feet away. I know, but can you hit that?
I don't know.
You're gonna have to move
What
forward.
is the range of a crossbow?
You are 5, 10,
Oh, and
15,
Reckon's
20,
fighting with us though. Oh, that's
45.
good.
You are 55 feet away from the goblin. Crossbow should be like 80 to 120, I think.
80. Yeah, 80 is your
First range, right?
and then 320.
Oh, shoot.
Up to 320 is what you wrote. I can double check the handbook.
Yes, please, do. So, Amari, you had a 20?
Yes, sir.
20.
Where'd you get this music? This is intense.
Amazon, baby.
Okay,
25 to 20. Anybody else?
We don't want into copyright stuff.
What?
This is not. It's a copyrighted music.
No.
Okay.
Is it?
Is
We'll
it
find
royalty
out.
free?
I don't know.
Realty free?
Royalty free.
Royalty free? I
Yeah.
don't have to pay for it. That's weird.
But it's not about whether you paid for it or not. It's whether or not we
you're allowed
can
to
use it
it.
or if that's legal. If that's not true,
It's
I
just an
found-
epic action and adventure volume set. There's like 8 of them on Amazon Music.
I have a site. I don't remember what it is, but I will find it and I will give it to you. And it has like
Dope.
free royalty-free music for all sorts of
Yeah.
settings.
Awesome.
So,
Do you have? Is it just a light crossbow?
yeah. It's
20 to 15?
So yeah, 80 to 320.
Wow.
20 to 15?
Oh.
It's two-handed
18.
and it takes
18.
loading.
Vallah. 18. This isn't on repeat. I think it's on repeat.
I mean,
It is
doesn't
on
matter.
Okay, and then
12.
you, 12. Okay, 12.
Man, what the frick is a spider? How did a spider in this freaking? Can we just talk? Can we just talk to the guy for a minute? Let's not just jump into this and just let's talk. Let's talk it out, man.
Decent.
Just have a conversation. They do like conversations, you know. Now, it's just
Feel free to talk to a spider. See how that goes.
no, I want to talk to the goblin dude.
No, go for it.
What did he say?
What did he say? He said my mission, and then he tried to shoot somebody.
As he came in and he shot at the one kobold, he missed him and he looked up and he saw you and says, "My mission." Amari, you're up first.
Okay.
So as he's saying my mission. Oh.
Nice.
Is there a kobold
crap.
servant nearby?
Yes, there's one here, and here.
Okay.
Literally right behind all of us.
I just didn't grab things for them.
No, you're fine. I just turn to it before I take off running towards the spider. Fetch my bow. And then I...
Looks at you and says, "Main chamber recorders?"
Yes.
Main chamber. And then I just take off.
And you see this
Literally the only
kobold
bow.
just immediately just
The
go.
fancy one!
The fancy one!
Okay.
That would have been awkward if I didn't
Can
have
I-
a spear. Oh.
Can I see the map really quick?
Hmm?
Can I see the map really quick?
This the little one. The
Yeah.
He's gonna determine how long it's gonna take.
Yeah, I can. I'm thinking. I don't know which dice I'm gonna use.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna go as far forward as possible.
Dash or no dash?
Well, it depends on if you wanted that to be like a bonus action to have given a command. I don't know how you want to do that.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Then I'll just, my full 30.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 puts you there. You are 15-ish feet away
All
from
those dice there are those.
These are the kobolds.
Okay. How
so-
close can I get to them?
Oh, if those are kobolds.
Yeah.
Can I go to a diagonal to try and put myself
Yeah.
Five.
in between? Yeah, in between some of them.
You get to about
Okay,
here,
that's cool.
where you are kind of looking directly. You're right in front of him. You're looking directly at him.
Okay, if I can draw fire.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. And that's my turn.
This turn. All right. Vallah.
I will basically do the same thing. Get as close to, if not right beside her, or move. Am I the
Kill your character.
Why am I not the
white.
white one?
He's white.
Yep. Well, he grabbed. He said it's wrong. Then.
Screw it. Friggin'. Stupid stools. Never mind. Never using those again. All right. Not ever gonna use the stools again.
I mean, just don't put your characters
on them. Yeah, that's fair.
They
Okay.
can be in like a tavern.
Yeah. So.
Can I just barrel roll right over the table? It's super cool. Like.
Yeah. Roll an acrobatics
After I
check.
grab my
Yeah.
shield.
You grab your shield and spear. Roll an acrobatics check.
Oh no. I'm gonna fail this so hard. 10.
11.
That's not
11. It's a
You-
half roll.
You
It's
you run and you do like that slide across the hood.
Ooh!
But your hip kind of catches your food platter,
Ow.
and you go. You were kind of wanting to go straight. You kind of slaw to the side and you land. You're like,
Oh, wow.
so.
So it like works, but just
It
doesn't
works.
work.
It's just not as cool.
Close
So
enough.
that's 5 feet of your movement.
Okay, I'm out of 30, so.
So 10, 11,
But like literally probably only 2 people noticed.
10,
Yeah, that's
15,
true.
20, 25
Yeah,
puts you
me.
right behind Amari.
Okay.
Do you want to go to the side? Either the side.
Go to the right if anywhere.
The right.
That way I can.
If you want to, you can take your attack action to keep moving, and you would get right up to dash. So you take no other turns this round. You just move up. You'd move. You'd be able to move right into melee
I
with
mean,
the
you can move
spider.
another 30 feet if you want, if you do that.
Yeah.
So dashing just uses your action to keep moving through.
Okay.
Forward.
Yeah, well, because I'm not gonna throw my weapon, so. Because that's the only weapon I have. But I would like to get. I would like to confront him if that's at all possible. Like, basically just challenge him, but like.
Okay. So
basically
I'll-
cut
so-
him off. Basically,
so-
I want to cut him off. Like he's like my mission. I'm like I don't give a damn. Like
So
kind of a thing.
I'll say as you 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You get you even with Amari,
Okay.
and you just look at him and you just you smash your spear shaft against your shield like you saw the
I
kobolds
am
do,
Gibraltar. I
and just
realized that.
and you set. And he was looking at like the kobolds, and then he looked at Amari, and then he boosh, and he.
So are you trying to like specifically intimidate him?
I'm trying to get his attention.
Okay.
I just want him to focus on me.
And then the spider eats him.
Well, I also want to know why he's here, so I'm gonna let him finish his sentence probably. But I want him looking at me, because that's, you know, how you should talk to somebody. It's polite.
You smash your spear against your shield, and you set.
Well, I guess can I try intimidating him?
Yeah, go for it. Roll an intimidation check. And if you want to, you can. If you want to, you can add your strength modifier instead of your charisma modifier, specifically for intimidation.
You rested.
Okay.
So I get the +3.
Yes, plus your strength bonus. If you want to do your
So you
do your
might be
beefcake.
Because I just used the one for.
Wait. What do you mean my +3 is my strength bonus?
Yeah. So you'd add 3 instead of your charisma modifier,
My roll.
but only to intimidation because you're basically saying I'm big, fear me, rather than I'm big. Please give me a discount. Like you can't really use your strength to like persuade.
Okay,
or
yeah,
something.
I would like to do that then too.
Okay, so roll an intimidation check and add 3.
Okay, so 18, so 21.
Oh shoot.
The spider turns and runs.
As you
The goblin's like, wait, go back! And then hey,
The goblin
stay out of
gets
here!
himself on the door all the way.
Have you guys seen Labyrinth?
Yes.
It's like when
Yeah.
Ambrosius runs like, Ambrosius, turn around right now, or I'm never feeding you again!
Oh gosh. That's so true. That's so true. It's true. Like that's oh my gosh.
Okay.
You run to it, goosh goosh, and you set, and you see him look at you.
Yes.
And then he draws an arrow and he sets it to his bowstring, and he is intent. He's looking directly at you.
Crits you.
That would be
Yeah,
bad.
for real.
Just
Talon, as you see Vallah move, you see the servant just dart up north, and just completely disappears. Gone. The servant that Amari yelled at.
yell at. Not yours.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the other 2 kobolds left as well. The other 2 kobolds ran away as well.
Okay, cool.
Like,
Yeah,
they're not warriors. They would
yeah, I was
die.
gonna say, if they're not warriors, they need to get out. Like,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
That's my.
If they are warriors, they need to help out.
No, it is. It is Reckon's turn.
Oh,
10, 15, 20.
I'm gonna wreck it!
that's his catchphrase.
I just wish he, like, was a monk or something and, like, fought with his hand.
Just like chain fist.
Okay. As he runs up, you see him kind of look at the spear and then just flip it over and stick it in the ground. And you see him kind of put his hands together and begin to conjure something. You hear him mutter words in a language none of you actually understand. That's not Draconic, don't worry.
Okay.
And then out flies just you see as he revolves his hands around, you see this vine begin to curl up his arm and then come up, and then he throws them forward and the vine just fish, and you see as it snakes out, you see these long thorns grow off of it and slam towards what's his butt?
What's his butt?
The goblin.
What's his butt? That's what I yell at him.
For all
Hey,
intents
what's
and
his butt?
purposes, he's a butt.
What's his butt?
And he's in a sewer.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's great.
That's my intimidation thing. Hey, what's its butt?
And
That would be pretty intimidating. He just yells, hey, what's its butt? Or whatever. I'd be confused if anything. I'd just be like,
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be intimidated, but I'd be like, what's happening?
well, okay, but imagine if like Dwayne the Rock Johnson said it.
Right.
I mean,
Well, he's
there's
like,
that.
Yeah, because that's my
Well, I
character.
think
so.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson could almost say anything in the right tone of voice, and it's
Right.
intimidating.
That's true. Right, but that's what I want my character. That's his build.
That
so
is your character.
That is my character. If there's an opportunity to get a tattoo, I want my character to get the Rock's like tribal tattoo on his shoulder.
knowing
You already
that,
have
you would know to pull them.
They're markings. They're not like.
Oh.
As he runs up, you see this vine snake out. Whoosh! It wraps around the goblin.
Yes!
You see the thorns. Ah! You see the goblin like yell in pain, and then all of a sudden he just and the goblin goes flying. Ah! Goosh! And he lands
Right at my feet.
right in front of you. Bro.
Freaking wreck it.
Right there. And you see he like pulls, and then the vine like retracts up his arm and like wraps around, kind of like a scarf. The thorns go away,
Out, yeah.
and almost like bristle outward, and wrap around him.
This guy's so cool.
And he looks at you,
I hope he's not evil.
and he looks at you and he goes, "Your move."
My move?
Yeah.
Wait, so he's like on his knees, right?
The goblin is just face down in front of you.
Is it really my like?
It's not your turn.
Aww.
Let's just reckon.
Dang. Boy, that would have been
Talon,
so dope.
it is your
I would have
turn.
literally been like you were saying, and then I like take my spear and like.
Do this, I guess, do the
You are-
spiders look
You
like...
are here.
I know.
You're-
Do the spiders look like
And you're in.
they're just
range.
like there, or like they're like gonna come attack
Eat
people?
people.
I mean,
It's a spider. Shoot first.
There's
That's what-
there's large spiders that just came out of this tunnel, and your subjects are running away in fear.
Good. That's the appropriate response, I think.
So it would appear as though, and actually, I don't know why I missed this in my
Sounds a
notes.
pretty decent one.
Mm-hmm.
They all.
I mean, you've got your healing spells that you can hold on to a slot
Goodness
for.
Lord.
Unless there's like a lot of backup. I don't know.
Because you can target 3 creatures
What
with
does
that.
this? What does this do?
So,
You see all of them just rush as a crowd out towards the eastern tunnel. That's gonna be one of those.
What about that one that's just sitting there?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
This
so
just gives them like disadvantage.
Oh, that for sure.
Which
basically,
is
anytime
awesome.
they make like an attack roll or anything, they roll a d4
Twice.
and subtract
And then
it
they subtract.
from.
Oh.
So they just roll it once. So
Oh.
this is different. So this basically every time he tries to do like an attack or something, he has to roll one of these and subtract whatever he rolls.
That's dope.
So it can like save us
Save
from
you.
getting hit or things like that.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I think it's also on attack rolls or saving throws. So like your guys' spells that have like DCs,
Mhm.
he also has to apply it to the saving throw for that.
Oh, that's cool.
So it can end up, that is one of the spells I cast the most.
Just for
as a
that
cleric.
reason. That's just a.
You watch as all the kobolds run out. One looks up at him, looks up at this black spider with the green on its back, and runs, and the spider lashes out and sinks its fangs into the back of the kobold's neck. And then out from you see a little bit of dribble of green as the kobold just
I swear.
slides off these large large mandibles about this long that you see now dripping off the end is this thick bright green like venom that is dripping off
Kill
of
that thing. Kill
these
it,
these talons, and then it looks at it kind of
Yeah, no, that would
looks at Amari.
You can do
um,
both, can't you? Because your spell's a bonus action.
But
You are in range,
Not all of them. It depends on.
right? Isn't it?
No, see, some of them are bonus actions, and some of them. This is like
That
this
is
is
an
an
action.
action. This would be my action.
So he only has a bonus
I
after
Oh,
Yeah. So I could shoot him also.
Well, then what would you do for a bonus action?
Are you
Maximize
doing that he can do a cantrip as a bonus if he casts a spell with his action?
Yes. Yep.
Cantrip.
And then you watch as this kobold just and falls to the ground.
Is it dead?
The kobold that got attacked. Yes. He's laying there and he is.
You are
Like
gonna
straight up dead.
You are gonna regret
Yes.
that.
Okay.
He's
I love
very.
how possessive we are.
I know,
of
shush.
people now. Like,
These people were under
These are our
Well,
people.
actually-
judgment and people's eyes and
Yeah,
whatnot.
because these are the three.
No, he is not
light
actually.
isn't gonna help.
Okay.
Like,
He is heavily wounded. You see his
But none of yours are
small
focused.
his back rising and falling very very rapidly as his unconscious form tries to pump this toxin out of his body.
Yeah.
And then you watch as the guy that gave you your drink from underneath the barrel reaches underneath and just shing, pulls out a scimitar. And his like
My guy.
kind of rotund form. You don't see him as rotund anymore. You see him as just a heavy guy that's like that you now see like he's
He's ripped.
he's ripped.
All right.
He runs up and he misses with the first one, then and slashes across, opening this wound on
Big
the
spider.
spider's leg, and then the spider.
The black and red one.
Yeah. Yep. Kind of turns and looks at him, and you see him kind of go,
Yeah.
kind of like back off just a tiny bit. Now, Talon, what are you doing?
Oh, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm gonna move a little bit closer.
Okay.
Just a wee bit.
5,
Like-
10, 15. This puts you 5, 10. Puts you 45 feet away from.
The big one.
I need to be within
This puts
30
you
feet
35
of all
feet.
3 of them.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. This would put you within 15, 20, 30. This would put you within 30 feet of all of them.
Okay, and then I'm gonna cast Bane.
Okay. Is there a saving throw for that, or is it just on them?
So up to 3 creatures of your choice
Those
that you
3
can see
creatures.
within range make a charisma saving throw.
A charisma saving throw?
Yes, charisma saving throw. And his DC is
That's hilarious.
14.
Also hilarious.
I don't know.
Even more hilarious.
Oh, great.
Okay, so the spider rolled a 3 and has a -3 charisma. So 0. They all fail, so they are all
Okay.
baned.
So yeah, so they all
I only have 2
bane.
markers.
Um,
Dang it.
Well, just put it on all of them. Just the guy on his face. You can just leave it on. You know.
Okay, so
Yeah,
they
it's on
are
both.
they are baned.
so whenever
I'll mark the spiders.
whenever they make a
Attack roll or saving throw?
a saving throw. Oh, sorry. Yeah, attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, you have to take a d4 and subtract it from the attack
Okay.
roll and the saving throw.
Alright, sounds good.
Oh, sounds great.
I mean, that sucks for
For
me, but
us.
good for you guys.
Camera's been recording, right? You did start.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Better be recording.
No, I just
Like I
wanted to
said, I was
make
like,
sure.
how do you do it? And then I was
Yeah,
like,
it's saying
oh, you
recording.
already
It's
did.
been recording for
Okay.
22 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so that is your action. Are you gonna do anything as a bonus action with a cantrip or anything?
He doesn't have any.
I don't have any cantrips that
Does
they're all
he,
one action.
he perchance have spare the dying?
He
I
does.
do.
It's considered an action unless you're just doing like cantrip as a
Cantrip
bonus.
is a bonus action.
Okay.
I really like it's such a low level spell. It's kind
It
of
is
just
touch,
like oh, it is touch. Okay,
Yeah,
I should probably put him back on here then.
just in case.
This guy's unconscious, so you'd actually be able to get up next to him if you continue. Well, no wait,
No, because he's a.
no, he moved 25 feet.
He moved. He could get 5 feet closer.
Yeah, you could move a little closer to the kobold that's on the ground if you wanted to.
But how close is he if he doesn't move?
If he doesn't move, he is 15, 20 feet away.
Okay, so you
Depending on
could
where
move
he
to
moves.
it on the next turn.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that on the next one.
All right. Now it is this spider's turn. This spider is going to move up
Good.
to Amari. And is going to lash out with with a bite. 17.
It is.
It hits. All right. So you take 2 points of piercing damage. I'm sorry, 4 points of piercing damage, and then you take 11 points of poison damage as these fangs reach forward and slam into your shoulder. Wait, hold on. Actually,
I'm not down.
No,
yet.
she's not down yet, but she's close.
I'm very close.
Actually, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Sorry, you don't take poison
Just
damage
got super
immediately.
intense because now.
P.S.
Yes.
Roll a d4.
Oh, yep.
Oh.
It misses.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yes. All right. So as you as this
I forget it all. I'm not rolling anything.
as the spider comes up, you see this shadow as he moves to strike. You see these shadow almost like cloud in front of his face, and his eyes go like a little darker, and you see like almost like little rocks like digging into his skin, kind of distracting him. And as he strikes forward, you just slide one of your blades, you stick it right between the fangs, and the fangs kind of click on the outside of the blade and like twist, and then
Gosh, dude, don't do that.
no, I'm gonna do it every
We
single
all
time.
really hate spiders, don't we?
Just cause.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Jacob more than you probably. Though.
Probably, I don't do well.
Jacob more than
but
me more than you.
I know, I
It is
remember you and
unreasonable.
Amari.
It is unreasonable how much I hate spiders.
It really is. It's kind of hilarious.
Saving from the
It
spiders.
is literally my phobia. Like,
See, I'm not as
honestly.
bad as him, but I'm that way with like all bugs.
Yeah,
here
yeah,
in
yeah.
general.
Yeah.
Whereas he's just spiders
Me?
normally.
Yeah, no, I won't forget Amari.
Unless it looks like a spider. And it's
So
if
far,
it's not
true.
a spider, I will.
So
Money bug.
Money bug. Oh.
Yeah. So as it strikes forward, you just slide it off with one of your blades.
Have I showed you money bug?
Is the goblin?
Do I want to be shown?
Yeah, let's show him.
No. If Josh says yes, then no.
No, don't show him.
As you Vallah, you see the guy strike out, the spider strike out at Amari, and then you see in front of you the goblin begin to stand up.
Oh crap.
How tall is the goblin?
It's about 3.5 feet tall,
Okay,
so he's small.
around the same size of a kobold-ish. A
Yeah,
little bit taller.
yeah, same size.
Okay.
And you see he looks right at you, and then someone will finish it. Throws his bow over his shoulder and pulls out a what is this?
The
It's the
money
money
bug.
bug from Korea.
Oh yeah.
That she found in
Yeah.
her apartment.
Yeah.
And then from the back of his belt, he just shing, pulls out a scimitar and was gonna make 2 strikes against you.
Okay.
One's gonna be an 8 to hit. The other one, there we go, 21.
Roll
You have to roll
a...
Roll a d4. I'm not gonna dignify the first one with a d4. So 20.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah. Okay. You take 4 points of slashing damage as this goblin puts his bow away, pulls out a scimitar, and slashes down, cutting
he
a.
said so far he said my mission, and then he got ripped off of his spider, and then he said someone will finish it.
Someone else.
Someone else
Someone
will
else will finish this.
finish this.
Yes. And as he strikes out, he cuts across your leg.
I know, but I really want to kill him.
And there's a little bit of blood trickling down your leg now
Right.
as you feel it grow warm. Now this spider is
Hopefully he doesn't kill that guy.
yeah.
Just got himself in more trouble.
Attack. That's cocked. Gosh dang it. Kind of a good thing. It was an actual 20. That's a 20 minus a d4 minus 4. Still hits. Sadly. AC is 14. Okay, so it is a one of these. Okay. So you see the spider strike out and land a blow into the bartender.
My man.
And you see as the fangs strike into his chest, he just kind of flexes.
Yeah!
And as where before you saw the venom just pulse into the figure
Other
that
one.
fell, this guy just
It's
and he
like-
and he flexes, and you see some of it actually like push out past the fangs,
Ooh.
and the spider pulls back, and
It's like with a mosquito, if you like flex and then like
it'll
makes
it'll
an
explode. It's so entertaining. You see the spider reach back, just recoil a little bit, and then stand there.
Did it hurt the spider at all, or is it just kind of like confused it, or what?
Probably just deflected some of it.
No, he succeeded on his saving throw, so he took less poison damage.
Oh, okay, good.
So
Good job, bud. Good job, bud.
he's flexing his massive muscles. Amari, it is your turn.
Am I in melee
You are indeed.
with?
The spider.
Well, I meant with the guy that was on the ground, or am I just in melee with the one spider?
You are in melee with the goblin.
Okay. So if I leave that space, he's an attack of opportunity. All right. I'll strike at the Arachnus Devicus.
All right. So go ahead and roll.
First attack is a 14 to hit.
14 just hits.
Ah!
Okay. Is 9 damage for the first
Okay.
strike.
All right. This is it. This one right here.
Arachnus Devicus.
And attack number 2 is not gonna hit. It's only 11.
Nope. So as you strike out with your first one, the spider kind of went off your blade, and then you just stab up at the same spot and just cut off a chunk, kind of like right behind where its fang is. Just cut into a chunk of meat, and the second one hits his leg, and just bounces off the joint.
I bet you a spider this big that would taste actually pretty good if you could.
You gonna move or anything?
No.
Nope, that's
my
it.
move.
All right. Vallah, your turn.
Okay.
So you currently have a goblin right in front of you with a scimitar that just slashed you across the leg, and then you have a large spider bearing down on Amari.
Okay, I feel like we should level the playing field a little bit. So I'll attack the spider as well
Okay.
with my spear.
Alright, so go ahead and roll an attack and add 5, I think is what you add. Strength plus proficiency.
Oh crap. 13.
That's with the plus 5?
Yeah.
Nope, that does not hit. So as you strike out at the spider, it slides off one of the legs and just slides past, and you pull it back. No effect. Anything you're doing with your bonus action or anything like that?
I don't think I can do anything.
What do you have for spells, man?
Just cure wounds, but it's by touch, so
I think this camera just died. It closed.
yeah.
Is that the battery like on the thing? That's depressing.
Huh?
Like a half hour?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
It might just
Oh.
Oh, space.
It just it's a huge SD card. It probably just
Is
after
it
a half hour. It's just one
super
of those ones that
zoomed
just
in?
Shuts off.
Oh.
Super zoomed in, or?
No, it's a good
No.
angle. Wait, what is the battery level?
Yeah. Full.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah,
so it must have
all right.
been setting.
So as can you open that window, or is it cooler outside?
It's not shaded. On that
I don't
side,
know.
but-
Yeah, so as you strike out at this spider, you see all the rest of the kobolds in the eastern tunnel just
Yay!
get off the
We
map
saved almost all
and
of our
run,
Well, the other guy's not dead yet.
and run,
I'm not dead yet.
out and away.
It's just a flesh wound.
Um,
A flesh wound? I chopped your whole leg off.
Oh no, I don't think so.
We'll just call it a draw then.
This is how he does math.
Carry the blood.
Yeah, for real, that's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so,
Dang it, that's totally
it is now,
That dice, I do not know why. I cannot roll and tell on that dice.
he is going to,
That's the coolest dice I
yeah,
have.
he is going, as he kind of grasps the vine, he reaches out at this spider that is, in melee with Amari.
Uh-huh.
And you see a little bit of blackness go from his palm and kind of almost flutters out towards the spider.
It's like a death butterfly.
Yep. Okay. And you see it's almost greenish yellow, just orb eyes, just cloud over completely black.
Whoa!
As it kind of
Blinded.
and it's kind of looking around, trying to like find some visual purchase. And then he is going to. He's engaged, so he's not gonna risk that. He's just gonna stay put right now.
Yeah.
Talon, your turn.
Okay.
What you doing?
Is it possible for you to shoot something and then like get that other kobold off of the ground and heal him?
I mean, it is a touch spell, so as long as you are over and you have a hand on him, you are fine.
If I use healing word, that's a bonus action. So I could run over to him, shoot the spider, and heal him, right?
How close do you have to be for healing word?
Oh, 60 feet.
So you don't even have to move. Really.
Yeah, you're looking at
Spare the dying.
But if
Spare the
that's the
dying.
action.
Yeah, spare the dying
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
cost you a spell slot. You just have
Oh.
to touch it.
Yeah, do that.
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Okay, so you run over. I'm gonna say for this purpose, you just stay out of melee with the big spider.
That was smart of you, bud.
You reach out your hand and you clutch your holy symbol, and you feel it kind of warm against the back of your palm as you touch this kobold. He just kind of his breathing steadies, and he's still face down, kind of almost laid over a hay bale, but he is breathing normally. He would appear to not be at death's door
Yet.
anymore. So.
I swear if the spider just comes up and bites him again.
Okay. Then I'm going to shoot the back spider.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So then go ahead and roll an attack. So that's a d20 plus your. That's a big plus 5, I think.
18 plus, what was it?
Plus 5. That
I mean, dude, you're
for sure hits.
Yeah.
So I think that's a d8 plus 3. I think.
Look on here.
It's just 1d8.
D8.
1d8
Or then
plus,
plus your
dex. So
Your dexterity.
Yes. 1d8. No, that's not.
That's no the D.
This is an 8. Ha, that's an 8. 1d8 is 8.
Is 8.
Plus 3, which
11.
is 11.
Dang. All right. That's 11. So that's
You just had your BA moment. It's like,
yeah.
tells you.
I don't know if you
And then just shoot it.
Yeah, so as you reach out, you click your holy symbol, and you feel his breathing steady, you pull out a crossbow bolt. Ching! And it sinks kind of in the junction between the main body and the bulging abdomen and sinks in. And you see it.
Oh gosh,
That's great.
Hey, scream!
And you see these orbs of his eyes look at you, and it's almost as though all 8 of them are directly at you, and then half of them, let me see if I can turn him, and then half of them swivel over to look at the bartender. So he's looking at two things.
Gross.
It's the bartender. No.
I've never seen a spider that close, Jacob. That magnified. The only spider that I tolerate is Lucas.
Lucas?
Yeah, Lucas the spider.
Where?
It's a YouTube
Oh.
thing. It's like a
I
collection
thought
of
you
little,
like-
little animations.
You're supposed to be somebody here?
yeah, it's Thursday, so it's probably worship team practice.
Yeah, so you just close the door.
I was about ready to like spider.
You watch as the heavier set bartender pulls out his scimitar and he just goes to town. He swipes down and he cuts one leg off the spider and then whips out and slices into like the torso part, and you see it open a large slash in his side. You see a little bit of like blood drip out, and there's a couple guts like just hanging out. Looks really, really rough. As it's standing there, kind of facing off with all of you all. Now it is this spider's turn. Friggin' D4s are gonna come off this. He's gonna strike. Nope. As you see it kind of rear up, and
The
its
blinded
abdomen.
one?
What?
The blinded one?
Doesn't really matter. Technically it has
I was literally
disadvantage.
just asking a question, but
Technically it has disadvantage, but
Yeah.
the first roll was a 3 and the second one was a 19, so...
that's okay. I like this.
Yeah, so it rears up onto its back 4 legs and its abdomen comes forward, and out of it you see spinning this wet,
Whoa.
this wet, like gooey almost string, and it just strikes kind of by you, and you just shift to the side, and this web stream hits the ground and is laying there in a pile, and it's almost like there's a very faint steam coming off of it.
You just. Yeah.
So that is his
Being
action.
recorded.
Yeah, I was gonna say some stuff. Josh.
So the goblin, seeing
Yeah, what's the goblin gonna do?
Reckon blind his friend, so to strike at
That's his
Reckon.
friend.
I mean,
Yeesh.
Well,
he's a goblin. They make friends where they can.
Yeah, okay.
so he's got a roll concentration check on blindness. You see as the goblin strikes out and hits Reckon across the chest. You see a bunch of these.
Did you subtract your D4?
He's got so many handicaps on him at this point.
Right.
It's cocked. Still hits.
Ah.
It's close. It was right at the AC. You see, strikes out and hits Reckon across the chest. You see a bunch of the ornate wooden pieces just scatter.
Questions answered.
And you see
I said
it.
I won't get my questions
Oh, I was
answered.
gonna
You see it sink into his chest. And you see his hand that was outstretched slightly to the spider just fall as he kind of like pushes the blade out of his chest, and you see the blackness recede
Well, poop on a stick. I don't
Off
get
of-
advantage.
off of his out of
I have one. I'm gonna guess that's probably back in the chamber.
Yeah, no, I didn't bring that.
Yeah, no.
Poop stick
That's
everywhere.
Yeah, you see this blackness recede off of his eyes as Reckon is sitting there, just with this big wound across his chest. There's blood coming down the bottom side of it. It looks like it hurt him a lot.
Sorry.
It
looks like it hurt him. I don't know.
That guy. I mean,
Is he also like? Does it look like he's bleeding?
there is blood coming out of the bottom side of the wound, dripping down his bare midriff down into his belt. The belt, right? Yeah, his belt.
How many hit points does he have left? He probably can't tell us that.
I cannot tell you that, or rather, I won't. I could, but I won't. As this spider strikes out, you see this bartender just kind of like shift to the side with a speed that is you wouldn't have expected. He kind of shifts to the side, and the fangs hit the ground and kind of just skitter across the stonework.
I might need to recruit that guy too.
Amari,
Yeah.
as you see these fangs leave grooves in the stone with these 2 little trails of venom behind it. You've seen the blackness recede from the spider in front of you. What are you doing?
Jacket.
I mean, I figured, but why not?
I'm gonna whap it.
All right.
I'm gonna whack it.
Well, now,
no.
with a 10. I'll make your ground. And
Yeah.
I'll attack with you.
Jeez, how many do you...
Motherfucking chicken. I hate nothing.
As you see this bartender slide out of the way, and these 2 fangs smash into the ground and leave these 2 trails of venom, you're kind of distracted by the volume. It's like 2 little rivers that were left. It's gross, and you kind of swipe out half-heartedly at this spider, and you see it just kind of like pull up one of its legs and like use it as a shield to kind of swat your attacks aside. No, it's Vallah. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
This is your moment.
Dude, I know, but I don't know who. Should I just go
It's
for
funny
the goblin
because
at this point?
nobody's.
Okay, no, I'm gonna go for the goblin because he hit Reckon. All right, I'm gonna attack the goblin in front of me.
All right, go for it. Roll an attack.
Or you say it like, wait. It's a 9. All right. So +5. That is a 14.
Yes, that
Thank
hits.
you.
That hits. So
Oh my gosh.
go ahead and roll a d8, and then I believe your card says a d8 of fire because that is what you chose
Yes.
this morning, or
It is.
rather when you attuned.
It is 4.
Okay. So then add your strength modifier to that.
The +3, so 7.
Okay, and then roll another d8 of fire damage.
6.
Okay, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so that's 14, I think.
So if it was 7, it's 13.
7, 13. Okay, how do you want to do this?
I mean, yes. How do I want to do what?
Kill that one.
You killed him. How do you want to do this?
Oh, can I like not kill him? Can I just like maim him to the point where he's like... I want to interrogate him essentially.
We have a guy who can spare the dying.
Yeah, but I'm gonna straight up obliterate him, right? Or I'm just gonna put him critical. Like what? So,
As it stands, that amount of damage, you don't think that would put him over his. You don't think that would outrank him.
huh. Well,
Well, I think you're kind of
Outright kill him. He would go unconscious. To
Okay.
kill something, you have to drop it
Okay.
to 0 and then exceed its maximum hit points.
so I'm just gonna drop him to 0 essentially is what you're telling me.
Basically,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So, here's what... Okay, alright, okay.
You
I
just
would
know
like...
how powerful this spirit is.
I would, yeah. I want to sweep the leg, Johnny. I wanna take my spear and like take the haft and just like knock him out from under him, spin it around, and put it right through his stomach.
All right. As you whip your spear out, you brace it, you grab it on the back of your shield. Kakoosh! You see the goblin, boosh, and just is slammed on his back. The wind is knocked out of him as his scimitar clatters to the ground. You spin it around. You slam it into the ground. It enters just. You see it kind of like tense up. Just,
I thought we weren't killing him.
I had the hit points. I don't know how else to use them.
Uh,
Is he unconscious?
He is. Yes, he is unconscious.
See, that's what I aim for. I aim for the stomach. He's got like 30
He's got
seconds
vital
or so
organs left.
To
So do
before
I
he
need to
bleeds
spare
out.
him?
He's got like 2 seconds.
We want to keep him alive.
He's got like
Not
2
then.
minutes.
Let him
He's
go.
got like 2 minutes before he bleeds out, technically. Well, it depends on how
Maximum
many
is
times
6,
he's
12,
gonna-
18, 20. He has 30 seconds maximum before he would fail his death saving throws to
Yeah.
die.
So, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, isn't it?
No, it is
No, it's
Reckon's turn.
Reckon's turn.
Uh,
Can Reckon say that?
So he is unconscious.
I don't know. We don't know what
Reckon just like
do.
winds his like cables around him and just kind of like preserves his life for long.
So Reckon is going to back up because that hurt.
Yep.
And then he is going to throw a thorn whip at this guy. That'll hit. That's not great.
Oh, well, it's a hit. So it's something. I feel like that bartender is really just holding his own against that spider. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
He's doing more than I am today.
Yeah, you see Reckon back up, and you see the wound in his chest is starting to bleed a little more heavily now. And as he whips his arm forward, and the vine comes off his neck and sprouts thorns, and he whips it out. It looks like this motion, and it's a little more half-hearted, and it hits the spider and rakes across his back, leaving a couple like gouges where this black purple blood is like oozing out, and kind of dripping to the ground. And the thorn whip wraps around him again. You see, I'm not in this fight much longer. And then he keeps backing up to get well out of their range.
Okay.
Now it is Talon's turn.
Now it's Talon's turn. So what does Talon do?
Do I need to heal him? I feel like someone should have to tell me that I should heal him. Anyway,
I mean, how long? Okay, how many rounds do we go till that guy dies?
A minute is 10 rounds.
Oh, so if
It
he has
will
30
be
seconds.
5 rounds. If he fails, succeeds, fails, succeeds, fails. He will have 4 rounds.
Okay.
Basically, on his 5th round, he will die if he maximum
And
like.
a round is like a turn of a.
A round is 6 seconds.
Right. But I mean, like, how we're gauging that is
Yeah.
like each person. So each person.
So when it
has
gets
a
back to his turn, he rolls once, and if it's a fail or success.
Oh, so we
and
get
then
like
it goes all the way
5
back.
revolutions. Yeah, we got time.
Okay.
Like don't. Like when in doubt, I can heal him if I have to. I'm right there. I have cure wounds. Like I could just.
I'm gonna
touch
shoot
him
the
and
same
then just
spider.
kill him again.
This red spider over here.
We'll just
Yeah.
wanna time
Okay.
it first.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
I wanna time it first.
What?
Roll an attack.
Oh yeah.
On attack. On attack.
10, 15.
15. All right. Go ahead and roll damage, and then add your. That's a DA plus 3, I believe.
3.
9.
Okay. How do you want to do this?
Yeah, you
Or
do.
shoot him right in the eye.
Shoot him in the eye.
Yeah.
So as this bartender cuts off his leg and slices up into the body, you see this black purple blood slop onto the ground. And it like turns to him and kind of shifts to the side for a way out and looks at you right into the eye, and you see it kind of you see all of its limbs kind of start to twitch and like seize up, and they all kind of go back. And then he just falls on his side and curls over on his back, and all of its legs curl in.
How could
And
you
it
not
is-
find that creepy?
it is dead.
Spiders are just gross.
Dead. Right there. We'll just call that dead, I guess. Now we can. Well, that guy's dead too.
He's almost.
I was gonna bane him, but I was like, nah, never mind.
Nah. Double bane.
Talon. Bartender doesn't have anything to do now.
Yeah.
Move up here.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Slide it.
Spider.
Now it's the spider's turn. My. The fangs strike out at you, Amari, and once again you just slap them aside with your sword. No one can hit
There
anything.
you go.
I'm not hitting you, but you're not hitting me either.
Right? Just yeah. So it strikes out, and you slide them to the side with your sword. That guy's. Okay. That guy's dead. Okay, so back up to Amari. At the top of this turn, you hear from back here,
I was gonna
say,
finally, the freaking
and then 15, 20. Really fast. It's gonna throw 5, 10, 15. Miss Amari, and then throws. She has as she's been running. She's wrapped a rawhide cord that's like got a slip knot on it around the quiver and the bow, and just.
Slow motion.
Yep, that'll work.
That'll work.
You turn. You quickly slide one of your blades into the ground, and you catch it like this.
Wait, does she need to make a check for that though?
No, it was a high enough roll that it was like placed so perfectly she couldn't really miss it. Yeah. So you catch your bow.
Here, I'll make you feel better.
20.
Oh
Natural
my
20.
god!
I was just checking to make sure it wasn't a nat
You like just turn around and it just like it just lands like
It's just lands on me.
Just like in your left hand, the quiver like lands over you, like
and it like
let's
already
go.
has an arrow knock. You're just like
Once again, nat 20s at just the
The
weirdest
dumbest time. I can't hit diddly squat, but I can roll a nat 20 on a
check
sword.
the roll. Oh
It's
my
so
God.
funny.
I really was just checking to make sure I didn't get a natural one.
Oh, that's so good.
So dumb.
Oh man. All right. Yeah. So
I wasted
it is
it.
your turn. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
Oh,
With that
I'm in melee, so I'm not gonna use my bow, but I'm gonna
Disappointing.
swipe at it.
All right.
I'm just gonna roll.
Watch you nat 20 again. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, it's close to being dead. I'll just roll. Oh, there's only one creature left, isn't there?
There's one spider. The goblin is on the ground. The spider is dead.
That's fine.
So well, that first one misses. 17 on
There we
this.
go.
That one hits. Yes, that one hits.
That's what we're talking about.
And well, that's only a 7.
7. All right.
Only a 7.
All right. So as you catch this bow, you sling it over your shoulder, pick up your sword with your lead hand, and swipe kind of at an awkward angle. And then that one misses, and you bring it down immediately.
I'm surprised
repeating.
how well I caught that bow, and it throws me off.
Yeah, and you bring it down right kind of where its eyes are, and you hit it kind of right in the row of two eyes, and it hits, and it like splatters out from both sides. A little bit of the blood kind of gets on your chest. And there's like a spray of gore.
Gross.
Just clean this armor.
All right. So that's that. Vallah, it is your turn.
Here we go. The guy's still, alive. Right?
Yeah. He's fine.
I'm gonna attack the spider. No, I'm not. Never mind.
What's your roll?
5, so like 10.
All right. You strike out, and once again it just slides off one of the legs. The spider has a surprisingly good amount of dexterity, where it moves aside blades and things. Brr.
I should have used the orange.
He gonna move 10, 20 to get behind here, and he's just gonna hunker down because he was really hurt.
Yeah.
Talon, it is your turn.
Okay, so what's still? It's just that one spider,
Just
right?
the spider.
Just the spider is still standing. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot that spider.
Good.
Shoot the spider. All right. So you got to roll a d20. Add 5.
20.
Yeah.
20 total.
Modified 20.
That was
Modified
20.
20.
Okay. Yep. So then go ahead and roll a d8 and add
8.
8. Jeez. Plus 3, right?
3, so 11 again.
Yep. How do you want to do this?
How do you want to do this? Let's go. Let's go.
That's why my roll is like it's a 4 plus a 3. It's like,
Okay. What's my angle on it?
It is
Right.
currently facing Amari and Vallah. So if it's
I
kind of
just made an opening in between some of its eyes.
yes, you did.
That inspires
And it kind of rears back, exposing this wound on the top of its head where Amari stuck her sword. So it's basically like you're back here, and you're kind of off where its right shoulder would be, and it's just reared up.
Okay. Thinking it was more straight on.
You can see the wound on his head though, so I mean I don't know if you want to do something with that or
I'm just gonna shoot it in the back of the shoulder.
Oh,
the back.
that's
All right.
so. Of course you
Um,
would think the lamest way to.
As you
I
as
just
it
shot a spider in the eye.
as it
and
rears
now you're
up,
complaining about it.
Yeah, I am.
you see the spot where all of the joints move, and you see the soft spot in the flesh, and you see it sink.
Oh. You flinched when you said
That was so in character. Holy cow.
that.
That was so good. It sinks
I
in.
also wiped my face for some reason.
It was great. It was
It's so
great.
real.
It was great.
The
So-
blood.
I can
yeah.
feel it.
It sinks in almost all the way to the
Itching down my
fletching,
back.
and it sinks in, and you can basically just feel it's like you're just kind of like so bad, it hurts so bad as it just like slices through all of its internal organs, just
Oh.
goosh, it hits kind of like its abdomen hits, and it like tries to it skitters a little bit to get up and like moves a little towards Amari, and then just dead at your feet, killed by Talon.
Dope.
I just killed 2 spiders.
Dude,
dude.
that playlist ended at the perfect time. Yes. I can't even believe that.
Okay, so we have a bleeding out goblin at my feet right now. What do you want to do with him?
Tie him up.
Okay.
Yep.
First
Rope.
things first.
Okay,
Time
so,
up.
he moves across, and he throws out his thorn whip. No thorn this time, and it just kind of like wraps up his hands and his feet. Doesn't look like he would do the best job, but it's functional for now.
He's almost dead.
So.
He's pretty much dead.
I pick him up, and as I pick him up, I give him a hit point, and
Okay.
I lean him up against the dead body of.
A hit point.
Yes. I think
Just enough to
Yep.
live.
Oh, I have 2 of those now.
What?
You do?
Because it goes up with my level,
Oh, it-
doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I think it's
Yeah,
for every level.
yeah. Equal to
Yeah.
your level.
So
So
I still only give them.
yeah.
Okay.
So as this vine kind of snakes out and wraps around his feet and then moves up to wrap around his hands, moving the sword aside.
I guess technically I give them 2 because I think I have to just give them all.
Is it all of them?
I'm not
I think
sure.
you can break it up.
Well, but I can only do it once per long rest.
Oh, so it would be all of them, yeah.
So I
So he
guess
gets 2.
well, we'll look at it more, but
Okay.
it's just 2, so it's not like that's gonna
Okay.
be hard to kill him.
It wraps around and actually disconnects from Reckon's arm, and you see it wrap around and tuck under a little bit. And then
That's
Amari
so nifty.
just picks him up by the scruff of his neck, and you see a very faint, subtle glow on her hand that then transfers to the back of the goblin's neck as it kind of spreads through his chest and then dissipates. He's kind of like trying to figure out like what the heck is going on. He's like tied up. You said you lean him against one of the spiders.
Yeah, I lean it against the dead body.
Nice.
I didn't have a chair.
All right. So he kind of like leans back, and these 2 legs kind of like frame the sides of his vision, and he kind of looks back, and it's just this dead spider just laying on the ground. He kind of.
Ooh.
What do you want to know?
You're the intimidating one.
Am I? I feel like I'm not that intimidating.
Can we roll?
Plus
Okay,
1.
fine. Here,
So do I.
Yeah, we're equally.
I don't have any.
Yeah.
You have. Yeah.
The fact that you have a +1 is just annoying to me.
He's got more charisma than you. Alright, well, like, literally, I don't know what you want to know.
I want to know who sent them.
Alright.
I want to know if there's more spiders coming.
Who are you working for? And I'm gonna plunge my spear like right next to his face.
Into the
Just like
spider.
into the
Into
dead
the
spider.
spider, yeah.
Into the dead spider.
Spider-Verse?
You slide it. Oh no.
Oh, not like like
I
really
didn't.
slow.
I
like,
didn't
really
foresee
slow, like,
that joke.
Really slow, like so. Just like
You
press it,
set
and then
down your
just-
shield and
just-
you set the point against the side of the spider and you kind of lean on it. Who are you working for?
Oh.
And it slides in, and then there's the burst of fire
It's a little warm behind him.
as
literally like
right
the
next to his
spider on
ear.
it.
There's like a bit of flame. You're not as intimidating as my master.
Right, and that is.
I won't tell you how you look like him.
Alright, I'm just gonna kill him.
You do.
I mean, is there anything?
Um,
Who else was sent?
Just us. It's a bit of a scouting mission. Weren't sure if you'd die easy.
Yeah, now I'm gonna kill him.
As he
I feel
spits
like at the same time, you and I both just like shoot.
as
I'm literally just gonna take my knee and snap his neck. Just like knee him right into the throat.
As you Amari start to pull your blades, you see he just Vallah just sets his knee against his chest,
Right on his chest.
and you see a little bit of the carapace sets behind the back of his skull, and being more of like a rotund skull, it sets hard, it digs in a little bit, and as he pushes down, he just and you see the neck like elongate, and this stretch of skin just get longer as his eyes kind of.
Dang! I'm sorry, that might have been grabbed. But he spit at me, so.
If you hadn't, I would have.
I'm gonna take my spear out. Just go.
It's like it's covered in like it's covered like 8 inches with like this purple like it's a little thicker than normal blood, just this thick gross like you flick it and it's almost like
Stringy.
gelatin just
Yeah.
slaps on the ground.
Nice.
Reckon, where does this tunnel lead?
It leads south, near to where we or near to where our scout so you came into the tunnels.
Well.
There's so many tunnels.
Okay. So, first of all, let's make sure that kobold over there receives medical attention, that he's all right, and make sure that you see your medical attention and all this stuff like that. We're gonna retire to our chambers and come up with a game plan. All right.
And when you're taken care of, please join us there.
Yeah.
And he moves off. and you see one of the servants, your servant actually, kind of poke her head around the table, and then come in and help him, and then carry him off to the east. So they go. The bartender kind of looks at you, nods, and then just walks the same way.
Yeah. I want to know his story. So we'll retire to the.
Yeah, I walk over to the table and I drink whatever's left of my ale, and then head back to the chamber.
If there's the bottle of any alcohol, I'm bringing it with me.
Yeah, and you look over at this little table over here, and there is still 2 bottles of like.
I just sheath and just
We did the poor guy out all the ale.
and just walk away with an armful
so
of
good.
alcohol.
That's
And
great.
then my shield across my back and just
All right.
waddle on.
Totally
back
in
to
character, yeah.
The, to the thing.
Yep.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
That was intense.
All right. Yeah. So, I don't know if you guys want to keep going.
Just for like a minute.
yeah,
or
just-
I'm perfectly willing to keep
remember my
Just
next
to do
part.
a debrief. We're just gonna debrief in the.
And I just want to talk to Reckon one more time.
Okay.
Oh, of course you do.
Because I won't remember next week. So I guess I could write it down. But.
Okay.
Okay, 90
So-
seconds. Just wait 1 second. This is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And.
Okay.
Okay.
Armful of alcohol. I'm just gonna go right.
You kind of set it down on the coffee table, couple of them like fall over and like roll a little bit. You pick them up. Yeah. You stick it on the table.
Just.
You just sit down in the armchair, kick a leg over the armrest, and just like start drinking. What'd you pick? Like brandy or wine?
Brandy.
Brandy. Okay.
Come on, son.
All right.
Come on, son.
So you guys doing anything in this period between?
I just like take off a little bit of my armor so that I'm a little bit more comfortable.
Wait, no. This is my. Hang on.
I'm gonna take out all of my.
This is my character right now.
All right. So you take off all your armor.
Yeah.
All right. It's about 20 minutes until Reckon comes in. Dun, 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 dun.
It's open.
That was such a tone change.
And he walks in and shuts the door behind him. You see he no longer has his armor on, and you see just this bandage wrapped around his chest. Walks up to you. So the kobold will be the kobold that got hit by the spider will be all right. Old Jalhurst is all right. He's been aching for one of those fights for a while.
That's
Our
the
barman.
bartender.
What did you say his name was?
Jalhurst.
Jalhurst.
You write that down.
Jalhurst.
Is it with a J?
Yes.
Jalhurst. It's a dope name, actually.
Reckon, have a seat in this chair. Take a load off. Rest up.
The chair that I'm sitting in?
Are you sitting in the chair or on the couch?
I think he just said I'm sitting in the armchair.
Oh, I wasn't listening to that.
Do you want to be sitting in the armchair? You can sit on the
No,
couch.
I want to sit in the armchair because I feel like that's way cooler.
Okay.
Because I put my leg up over because like.
Oh, I thought you were putting it up on the coffee table.
Oh, I could do that too, but this is more comfortable in my mind for some reason.
Go for it. I don't care what you're doing. I tell him to sit on the couch.
Yeah, so he kind of takes a seat on the couch. He doesn't really like recline, as is the nature of his experience with the leaders of the tribe. He kind of sits there, kind of on the edge of the cushion, looking around.
A little more. I was like, right now we just look upside down. Before Reckon got there, Vallah, can I have the key that you found?
Yeah, it's on the coffee table right there.
You just left it on the coffee
Yeah.
table? Okay.
That was.
Um,
It was a choice.
That's a
it's a
choice.
mysterious key. Let's just leave it in the open.
Oh, can I take the beat? You all can.
No, I have the bead. I don't think I said. Did I set it on the table?
No,
we put
you guys said you put everything on the
Okay.
table.
Yeah, can I have it though? Because I'm like.
Oh, true. It was from your room. So you
It was in your room.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm fine.
No,
I
you
take
can
the
think of a
key
command word.
and I just kind of like hold it in my hand.
Jacob.
Reckon I I'm very glad that we have you on our side. Today you've proven yourself a warrior.
I mean, that hurt a lot.
It did. I don't do well with liars.
Okay.
And I just hold the key. Now is not the time for secrets.
You see his face go from kind of a...
I'd like to keep you, my friend.
There's a... He kind of pulls out from his belt pouch. He pulls out 3 little baubles, and he pulls out another key, and he pulls out a couple needles.
Just like voodoo.
Pulls in a doll.
He just starts sticking it.
This just got weird.
I collect things. I found that key. When the master was out, he forgot to lock his door that day. That was the day that... Hold on.
I feel like I need to be ready to write something down.
That was the day that Sukta did not come back, and that Fignu came back the way he is now. I came in and found the key. The master had left his door unlocked. Went inside, started testing it on all the things. He kind of puts everything back in his belt pouch. I found what it opened.
What was it open?
Under his bed, there's a slat in the wood. It opened, and there was a journal and a book with
I turn around and I walk into the room.
There's people in there.
I know. Amari doesn't care.
You walk into the room, and it's dark, darker. They kind of dim the lights.
Now it's probably like 11 o'clock.
It's almost 11
There's no
o'clock.
windows.
Yeah.
We're underground.
Yeah, so
True,
so
never
they've
If the lights are on, they're still off.
They put out some of the.
Yeah. There's like 1 or 2 candles throughout the room. They're just passed out on the bed.
Oh, good. Makes what she did a lot less rude.
Yeah.
The slat he described, is it like close to the edge or?
Make a perception check.
Hurry up. You give me a natural. No, that's a 2.
It's 2.
Do you want me to
2 plus 3, so it's a 5.
It's 5. You get under there, and
It's dark.
It's dark. Yeah, it's dark. You kind of feel around. There's some knots you kind of put the key into. You can't really find where it is. About the time you kind of slide under there and start like rummaging around, you hear a, "Ooh, what's going on?"
Yeah.
Great.
As Lilith wakes up, and you see her feet like set on the other side, and she starts to like
Is
walk.
she completely under the bed at this point?
Halfway. She's kind of like to her butt. She's kind of like under there, like rummaging around.
Lilith, I want to make sure that you stay safe, but I need something from underneath this bed. Can I unfortunately disturb you and your family and ask you to go wait in the common room?
Yes. She kind of nudges
she's
the
cool.
man and says, "Honey, let's go," and pulls the child up.
My apologies.
Still sleeping. The husband kind of cradles the son.
I pull one of the flowers out of my crown and hand it to the kid.
He's asleep.
He's kind of nestled
I
up,
said
Oh.
and you set the flower kind of in his hand. So he's kind of laying there with just this big blue flower kind of right here.
mine are pink.
Yeah.
They are?
Mine's blue.
Yours are blue, red, pink. Big pink flower. You guys see the small family
we fought
unit.
with crowns on our heads, dude.
Thanks, right?
We didn't have time to take them off.
That's true.
We literally just got up and fought.
Yeah. You see the husband walk out cradling the son with this big pink flower on his chest, and the wife walks out, nods to you both, and
I'm gonna
she's
go
looking
ahead
for
and-
something. I don't know what it is. Can you help her so we can go
Yeah, I was
to
gonna
sleep?
say I'm gonna go in and check.
I cast light.
Okay. What do you cast it on?
I just grab
Poop on a steak.
some bauble off the trinket thing off the desk, and I just
Okay.
cast
You
light.
grab a
and I
little
start
like
using
you grab a little like eagle, just this like gold-plated eagle
it,
figurine.
like a chess piece type thing.
Yeah, type thing. Yeah, you cast it on it and you set it under there, and it illuminates it much better. Like, and it's you can see a lot better now. As Vallah like pokes his head under there,
Just
roll a perception check.
Oh shoot.
I shoved the bed out. That was the other thing I was gonna do, was cast light and then move the bed as much as I
Okay,
could.
roll
Yeah, I
a
got
strength check.
6.
Okay.
So I can help her if she needs it.
Yeah, so roll with advantage, Maya.
Yeah. Dude, we can't move a bed. What the?
Right?
Do you need my help?
It's a 12. I don't. You know.
Yeah, that's enough. I mean, it's a heavy bed, and as you guys move,
I mean, it's like
you kind of like lift
big
and push and shift and push, and the curtains are like shaking. The end posts don't look like they were meant to like. It was like, let's just be still and not move ever. So it looks like a two-piece
It's a
end
little
post.
sketchy.
So they kind of wave back and forth as you shove the bed. The little chess pieces under there emanating light. And you now see the small compartment. It's probably about this big. It's got a little, it's a hole in the ground about this big. That's got a little key thing on it.
I check for traps.
Okay. Is anybody helping her?
Yeah, I can help her.
Yeah. Make an investigation check
Oh,
with advantage.
I was gonna say I have a +2 on
It's
it.
cocked. That one's a natural 20 though.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
That's a natural 20?
things.
I wasn't even looking at that. I was busy rolling the cocked one, and then I looked over. Oh, that one was 20, so it doesn't really matter.
As you look around.
It's just a straight 22. I have no modifier for an investigation.
Okay.
But it's natural.
As you kind of look around, you slip one of your daggers under there. You pull it up. You see a small little fire
Good call.
coming
Good
down.
call.
This is not Amari's first rodeo.
And you see it's connected to the locking mechanism.
Okay.
Mm.
It's connected to the locking.
So the minute you unlock it, it's gonna go off basically. If I'm understanding that track
So-
correctly.
I can unlock it.
I was gonna say, can I disarm it?
Magic.
Roll a sleight of hand check.
I have a +1 on that.
Okay, I have +3 because I have
Okay, there you go.
dexterity.
There you go.
Roll you. Don't betray me. Oh, well, that's pretty good. 19.
19.
Pretty good.
As you slip your dagger underneath, ting, you watch as this small black cloud and sucks into your head. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Whoa! Oh no! What just happened?
I cannot.
What just happened?
I don't
Oh
know.
my gosh!
You guys watched as she stuck her dagger underneath, stuck her finger there, and ting, you watched.
I'm not in there.
Wait, so you had to get like
You-
a natural 20 in order to not die from this, right?
You watched as this small cloud, and it was almost like it was like an arrow, and it pointed at her and just went into her head.
Ah!
It was
And I just hear this
11.
yell.
It was an 11. Okay.
It's not particularly high.
Talon!
I'm gonna come in, but I'm
You
gonna,
take
I'm gonna bring
14
Dragon with me.
points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
Oh no.
As this cloud
Is that all?
hits you and sucks into like you watch it like goes into her eyes and her ears, her mouth, her nose, just goes in, and then you see her, and you are also stunned. As you feel this energy come into your mind and like lock everything up, you just you're sitting there like just rocking back and forth for a few seconds until you see a small black cloud end its
It
space.
just disappears.
You're still kind of there like, oh,
That didn't feel good.
Are you
that
okay?
sucked. You also have a very very bad headache.
By the way, when he yelled for me, I ran in, but I'm pulling Reckon with me. Because I'm not going to
Okay.
leave him out there with those people.
All right, and he's gone from like anxious second in command to like just a noodle basically. He's just kind of like following you, just like
I screwed it.
But
Like
yeah,
that-
yeah, like the I
that
screwed up,
mentality,
like
I
okay,
screwed
okay.
up.
yeah, like I'm disappointed in
I may have
myself.
screwed up. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, but yeah, that mentality of
you
like,
literally had to get like a 20 for
Probably.
that knocked
yeah,
you
the
off.
DC was 20 on that.
Okay, I was
He's
gonna
a
say,
fairly
you
adept.
missed it by 1.
He was a fairly adept trap setter.
Oh, great. Pretty good gumdrops.
I'm not dead.
You're not dead?
What are you at?
Very
4.
Oh, dude, that could have been really bad. I could have Max would have gotten
You-
18.
I have.
Well, let's
I have
hold on
one
and
more.
see
Shoot,
what's
one.
going on first. Because if we can
So
long
we are gonna
rest,
go to bed anyway. Then.
Yeah, it's
maybe
like-
we need to make a plan.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Do we have a dungeon?
We're not locking him up
I'm not there with Reckon yet.
Jeez.
I
Town's already made that.
I
jump.
continue on. You could have warned me about the trap, Reckon. And
You walked away so fast.
I open it. Is there anything else?
Not that I found.
Okay.
Okay.
And I open it.
You slide it open. There's no creak. It is perfectly silent.
Okay.
That's even worse.
I
And
open it and I look in.
There is what looks to be a journal about this big, and it's got a leather covering that is then wrapped with rawhide. Take that out. Underneath it, there is another book. It's got really, really intricate, what looks like draconic script just across the cover. You flip through it a couple times, and it's a spell book. More accurately, a ritual book. You see laid out on both the pages. You see these intricate circles with different glyphs, and each there's a label in each corner that you recognize as names. As you flip through them, you recognize them as the names of fiends.
Okay.
And after each one, there's a fail. There's F-A-I-L. There's written fail.
Okay.
Until the last one, where there is no name,
Of course.
and on it there is the place where there's written fail.
Success.
There is just yes written very, very quickly across it, and it closes. That's the last. That's the last in the book. You set that aside, and beneath that there is. It looks reminiscent of a holy symbol. It is a crest. It is a sprig of wheat with a sickle. So it kind of curves. The sprig of wheat curves this way. The sickle goes up and curves this way, and then in the middle there's a star with wings on it. It's a coin. It's coin shaped about this big, and it's got this big. It's like a heavy chain around it, and you pull it out, and that's the last thing.
Do I recognize that at all?
Make a history check.
Do any of us recognize that?
All of you go for it. History checks.
1.
20.
I literally crit failed.
You both did?
Ones
Yeah,
and
one.
20.
I rolled an 18. I have a modified
Nice.
20.
Mod 20. Dang. My luck just went straight down there.
As you look at this symbol, it's familiar. You see it, and
This is just ridiculous.
you remember. I'll call you or talk to you afterwards about one thing you know, but the other one is that you saw it on the gate of the city. You saw this symbol emblazoned. As you walked, you saw half of it on one gate and half of it on the other, so that when the gates are closed, this crest is emblazoned perfectly on these big doors.
This is the crest on the city. I relay that.
Oh.
Okay.
Just so you know what's going
Yeah.
on. I'm not keeping that secret.
I feel like Josh is just staring at daggers. I feel like he's mad at me.
No.
Like it's just like.
I'm just like.
He's just
I
looking
just
at
don't
me.
understand my dice anymore.
Hey man, that's the great thing about this game is there's so many ways it could go, and it's all tied to this.
Well, like today, I did diddly squat damage practically.
Yeah.
And then last week, I
Spiders.
like murdered
You murdered
everything.
Okay, you actually, I did the math. You actually killed everything last week.
Yeah.
Except for one kobold. No, that was week 1 that we. Or that was when Lice was here. Your first
I
encounter.
killed 2 kobolds.
I killed the one with the spear.
Yeah, and then she killed everything in the arena.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. I mean, it's not. I mean,
I just
yeah,
validate
it is,
myself because I'm like, I healed someone.
but- yeah, yeah. And honestly, for you, that's. I mean, I don't want to say that's the cleric's job because it's not.
It is.
I mean, it is helpful. It is the
More role.
The cleric is good at it,
Yeah.
but.
Well, now, yeah, 'cause now I can heal people too now, so.
All right, so that is where we will go ahead and end. And I